You are now tuned into Somewhere in the Middle with Soonie and Mo.
Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey.
Hey, Don on the beat.
Hey, I got so many ups.
Everywhere I go, I
got so many ups.
so many ups.
I know they plotting against me. I know it's hate, they wanna kill me, but please don't tempt me, cause I got so many glocks. Hey, ain't none of them empty. Jesus said they would hate me too. That's how I know it's envy. I got so many ups.
Hey guys.
Excuse me.
Excuse you. Happy Friday to
Happy
everybody.
Sabbath to everybody who celebrates the Sabbath, by the way.
Yes, happy Sabbath. Happy Friday. Happy end of your work week before you go on vacation for Thanksgiving. If you celebrate Thanksgiving.
Cannot believe Thanksgiving is already next week.
I
I'm
know.
not prepared at all. Like,
I'm ready.
you are? I feel like I've been an autopilot since January.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in terms of like it's going by really fast and it's going to
Yes.
be here and gone and then it's going to be Christmas. Like, yeah, it's like 45 days till the end of the year.
I haven't even went Christmas shopping. I have done
Me neither.
nothing.
Me neither, girl. But I don't really look forward to Christmas shopping, to tell you the truth. That's not my...
I don't either. That's why I would rather get it done in October. I tell myself every year, me and my husband, we talk, like, let's get this done in October. So by the time mid-January comes, like, we have all the presents stocked away.
Never happens.
Never happens. It's like no cap. It's usually like 3 weeks before Christmas.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what your
3
excuse
weeks
is.
before Christmas.
I don't know what your
Why?
excuse is for not making that happen. My excuse is this.
What?
I don't like to go shopping. Okay. So I'm forced to go shop, like, obviously for Christmas.
Yeah.
So when I try to say, oh yeah, I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to do some Christmas shopping early, I'm like, oh, this would look cute on me. Oh, I like this. Oh, I could use this. And then it turns into my shopping trip for myself.
Ah,
I don't,
See?
and I don't like to hold on to gifts and not be able to give them. You know what I mean? I want to be able to give them right away.
like immediately. So you're
Yeah.
just impatient.
Yeah.
Fun
I just-
fact. I do not buy myself things. Don't know why.
Yeah.
Like clothes, and I don't do that. If I want sneakers, I'll be like, hey, I like these sneakers, but I won't buy them myself. Is that weird?
No, because I'm kind of like that too. Like I
Yeah.
rather shop for other people. But again,
Yeah.
because I don't like to go shop, when I go shop, I would never shop for myself. So I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? I'd much
Ooh.
rather give gifts, but I want to be able to give them. I don't want to hold on to them. So yeah.
Mo's impatient.
Mm-hmm.
No Christmas gifts
Surprise.
this year, just going on a vacation to the Ark.
I love that
Oh.
idea.
Cool.
To the Ark. Oh, to the Arctic. I'm like Noah's Ark. You're gonna go like you're gonna go to the Middle East? Isn't that where it's at? Supposedly. Not a good trip.
Isn't that like Noah's Ark? Are you sure you want to go there? Are you sure you want to go there?
Yeah. I know. I've always said that too, like a good family vacation, but then people want to open gifts. You know what I mean? Like they want, unless you're going to go on vacation when everybody else is opening gifts. Like, I don't know. People are just weird. I don't really care about opening gifts that much. I like to see other people do it, but I don't really care to do it. You know?
Yeah, I don't really.
No.
It's like
Yeah.
a birthday. I just like it because I even have a fire going, by the way. Look, I like it
Oh,
because I need
faux
it.
fire.
It's like setting the ambiance.
The mood.
Christmas is just a time where you come together and enjoy each other's family. That's the main reason I like it. And
Yeah.
it's just it feels different this time of year. Everyone's cozy, sit in the house, you watch movies,
Yes.
spend more time together as family. One thing that was really big in my family is I would help my mom cook every year, the night before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I would sit in the kitchen with her and like chop stuff up. Now, I didn't like to do it after a while. It's like when you're a kid, you get to help mom. I would enjoy it. But
Yeah.
of course, the closer I got to like teenage years, I'll be like, man, I don't want to cut up no onions. I don't even want to touch the kitchen. But I do have great memories of just holiday times.
Yeah.
Mainly
See,
cooking
that's
and like being together as family.
I was about to say that's my jam. Like, get me in the kitchen so I can bake and I can cook.
Yeah.
Even though I'm in the kitchen all the time, every day, every week of my life, but like,
Yeah.
there's something about those holiday meals and like having people
Yes, dude.
over.
And
I'm very
and the
nostalgic.
house is full.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
feels weird doing it here because it's just me and my kids and my husband. So it's
Yeah.
not like my family's coming over. So the kitchen feels empty, but it's still fun. I try to continue that. I'm actually making my grandmother's cake this year
Yeah.
for the first time in like a long time.
What's your grandmother's cake?
5-flavor cake.
What 5 flavors? What 5 flavors is it?
Rum, vanilla, lemon, butter. Wait. Rum, vanilla, lemon, butter, and there's one more.
Mm,
I can't think of the last one. But it's so good. It's
that
actually a
sounds
recipe
good.
that's been like carried down for generations in my family. So I'm gonna teach my daughters how to do it
That's
because I
even
always did
better.
this with my mom. It's fun.
Yep. Yep. You got to do that. You got to pass down those recipes. So I took like this poll
Mhm.
on my page and I was like, hey, you guys, tell me what it is you guys are asked to bring to your holiday, like Thanksgiving. Like, what is the recipe
Ooh,
that
dishes.
yeah, like that everybody's like, oh my
Mm.
God, you have to bring this. Okay, so let me read you some of these. Now, some
Okay.
people just did not understand the assignment. Now, this is what
They didn't
this is
understand.
no, and this was what the instructions said. I said, what is the one dish your friends and family beg for you to make every Thanksgiving because it's the best thing you make? Send me the names and maybe I'll hit you up for a recipe. And then I put a note there and it said, to my white people, nothing with raisins in it, no ambrosia salad or green bean casserole. Okay.
What is ambrosia salad? You just put me up on game. What is it?
Girl, like
Is it
pull up a
nasty?
picture of it, but I think it
Okay.
involves like jello and like whipped cream. I don't know. It's so disgusting.
Ooh, okay. Let me look.
Anyways, okay, so here's one that I actually hit up for a recipe. Not for Thanksgiving necessarily, but because it just sounds good to make. Okay, honey butter sweet corn topped with Mexican crumbled cheese. I know you don't like that part. Corn casserole, sweet potato casserole, and sweet and sour meatballs. Sweet potato casserole. I don't like sweet potato casserole. And they put Ruth Chris recipe. Pecan pies. That's good. Bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers. Sounds good. Yankee dressing or scalloped corn. Okay, this is where somebody had to get put out to dry out my story when they sent me this. Boiled liver and pig's feet with a blue cheese cream sauce. Mm-mm. No, ma'am.
What?
Yeah, that sounds disgusting. German chocolate cake. That sounds
I'll
good.
be right back.
Okay.
1 second. I'll be right back, literally.
And as I'm reading, you guys put in the comments what you guys are doing for Thanksgiving. What's your signature dish? Cornbread stuffing and pumpkin pie, sweet potato casserole with marshmallows on top. And then they put, and I hate raisins and stuff. Rice balls, the Italian kind. Always the mac and cheese and mashed potatoes. Now that was a white person that sent that to me. Now white people, no shade. But I don't know what you guys think. You guys make some good mac and cheese. I don't know. Unless there's just some stuff. I don't know. I'm really weird about the mac and cheese, but okay. Stuffing, lots of buttery celery, onions, complete seasonings, not stuffed in the turkey. So outside the turkey. Okay. So let's see what the chat is saying. Texas chocolate sheet cake. Okay, Aaron, I think you know my email. Send that to me. Carly says she didn't answer because it's the bread for me and I use a bread machine. I like that. Where's the greens? I know nobody said greens to me, and I'll be honest with you. I'm looking for an outstanding greens recipe, which P, if you're listening, you were supposed to send me yours because you swear that your greens recipe is the bomb. And I haven't seen it yet because I really want to try a greens recipe. Carly, you said my mac slaps, but it's not a Thanksgiving staple. Okay. See, I feel like, and again, this is no shade because if it's what you grew up eating and it's like a family recipe, your taste buds are accustomed to eating You know what I mean? Like that particular thing. So you think it's the bomb. Because I have had people's Thanksgiving sometimes, and I'm like, this really isn't that great. You know what I mean? Like your turkey's dry. I'm not really into green bean casserole.
You're tripping.
You
You're
like green bean
tripping.
casserole
Now you just disrespected the best Thanksgiving what do you call it? Dish.
that you make?
What?
Green bean
What?
casserole is the best Thanksgiving dish?
Yes.
Absolutely not.
I'm trying to understand what these recipes, these dishes were that you were naming off. Where did you get that?
That was the people that's what they were responding. You know what I mean? Okay, oxtails, Christina, listen, I love me some oxtails. But if those oxtails aren't tender, if the spices ain't right,
The spices ain't right.
yeah. That's the other thing. Y'all don't be putting enough seasonings in your stuff.
So I looked at what this ambrosia dish is. I'm sitting here looking at it now.
Put a picture of it.
I am thoroughly confused as to why anybody would eat this.
I'm gonna put a
Like,
picture up.
ugh.
Isn't it gross? Like, what is it? Like, if you eat ambrosia
I
salad,
don't know.
explain to me why. It's like fruit. Here, I'm just gonna put it up here. It's like fruit and marshmallows, I think. It looks so gross to me. Here it is.
Lord,
That's an
my
ambrosia
brain's going
salad.
off.
This is what I'm used to it looking like. Okay, it says a carton of Cool Whip, cottage cheese, pistachio instant pudding mix, canned crushed pineapple, and canned mandarin oranges. Blech. Sorry. Who even thought about that?
I didn't hear greens. I didn't
Right.
hear yams. I don't even eat ham. I ain't heard ham. I ain't heard gizzards, giblets, whatever you want to call yours. We call ours gizzard. Y'all didn't mention mashed potatoes.
Right.
Y'all didn't mention none of that. What is this? What people eat? This what y'all eat?
I don't know. I
wouldn't
don't
eat
know.
at y'all house if this what you making. Soonie ain't. I can't touch none of that. I need some greens and some cranberries.
Some staples. I don't do cranberries.
yams.
I don't do cranberries.
You don't do cranberry sauce? What's wrong with you?
No. Well, okay. The cranberry sauce that I usually see is the one from the can that people just like
Yes.
plop. Oh, that's disgusting. No.
What?
No.
You're bugging.
No. What is so good about that? What is so
It's
good about
good. You mix it with
with the turkey?
you mix it with with your dressing. No. If you get it, I don't like meat. If you do get a piece of turkey, you get a very thin slice of turkey, and then you just take a portion of the cranberry, you take a portion of the dressing, and you eat it.
Okay, so the first time I ever heard the word dressing,
Yes.
because when I came to Texas, they were like, "Ooh, my dressing's off the hook," and I'm like, "What kind of salad do you put it on?" I'm thinking salad dressing. Okay,
What?
but then they described it to me, and I was like, "You mean stuffing?"
No.
So
This is
explain. Okay, explain to
it's
me. What
way
is,
different.
explain to me what is dressing compared to stuffing, or is it the same
So-
thing?
I think it's the same thing, but it's made different. But they are two very different things. Dressing is cornbread mashed up with
Okay.
sage, savory seasonings. My mother puts onions, bell peppers in
Uh-huh.
it, and then you mix it all up. You mash it all up. You put what you call it? Chicken
Stock.
what's chicken stock in it.
Mhm.
And then you put it in the oven and it bakes. But you don't cook it all the way. Then you put the turkey or the Cornish hens, whatever you're gonna put in it. You put it back in there and you stuff the turkey with it.
Okay.
It surrounds it, and that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Now, stuffing is way different. Stuffing looks like
Mush
bread.
to you.
Mushed together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Okay. I mean, I've had stuffing now that I've like come, or I'm sorry, I've had dressing now that I've come to Texas and I understand. So basically, it's just made two different ways, but it's kind of the same
Mhm.
thing. Like, I guess dressing is cornbread based, stuffing is more cubed bread. Like, it's supposed to be traditionally
Yeah.
made with French bread, and then there's
Yeah.
people that make it out of like the stovetop. Which, hey, I love stovetop dressing. Don't like, I won't
Ugh,
knock stove.
that shit
Not
is
for
disgusting.
Thanksgiving. Not for Thanksgiving, but I like it, the taste of it. I've actually like stuffed pork chops with it. It's not bad tasting, but I just had never heard of dressing. And I was like, why do they call it dressing? I guess because it dresses the
Can you
turkey.
see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay.
All right, Christina, my spread is greens, cabbage, yams, cranberry sauce dressing, mashed potatoes, turkey and gravy, mac and cheese, green bean casserole, and green beans. That sounds like a pretty traditional one.
That sounds good. See, I'm eating at your house, Christina.
And she's black.
Mhm.
Is she black?
Oh,
I
I'm
think she's
definitely
black.
coming to your house.
I think she's black. She looked like she's something. Carly kind of has the same thing, except she has cream spinach, corn. I think she meant to say
What the hell,
cornbread.
Carly? What is cream spinach?
Okay. Pumpkin pie. What kind of desserts where are we going with the desserts?
If you got pumpkin pie at your table, then don't invite me to your house.
Same.
I don't want to come to your house.
Same.
Uh-uh.
I'm doing I don't even like pies, but if I have to do it, pecan pie and some type of cheesecake.
Now I don't want to come to your house either because you said cheesecake. Nope.
But I have multiple desserts at mine. Like I have like different desserts for different tastes. I don't do just like one dessert. Apple pie.
Sorry. Momming never ends. I have to like figure out a birthday invitation and everything else. So if I seem disconnected, I'm really sorry. I'm just trying to get this together.
That's okay. Christina says she's black and white. Okay, cool. Well, that explains
you black
the
though.
greens. That explains the greens and the green bean casserole. Okay. Enough about food. My mouth is watering.
I know. This is actually making me hungry. Thank you. This actually got me in the zone to cook because I was not looking forward to this. I kind of just wanted to do nothing, but I like it. I like it now. I'm excited for Thanksgiving.
Okay, y'all. So everybody, since we're not all doing the same thing on Thanksgiving, everybody is going to post pictures of all their. This is the one thing I will say. As good as Thanksgiving is, does everybody agree with me that when I look at people's pictures of their food and it's like all on their plate, it looks disgusting?
Look, it depends on how they cook their food, bro. You can tell when something is not good. You know how you can just look at something and be like, that's nasty and I would never eat that. And you look at something and you're like, bro, I'm gonna tear that up. I can tell you put your foot in it.
But Thanksgiving is the most like blah color palette for food ever. It really is though, because it's like
it's
the turkey.
Earthy. I love it.
Yeah, the turkey's beige, the stuffing is beige, the mashed potatoes are cream colored.
Not like you needing bright pink on something.
I mean, you know what? But though Christmas, you got a steak, you got like some sauce for the steak. There's a little bit more of like a
who eats steak for Christmas? I have never heard of that.
We do. So we do the turkey for Thanksgiving. Yeah, we do the turkey for Thanksgiving, and then on Christmas we do not like a steak like you would think, like just like some steak on the grill. We do like filet mignon is what we do on Christmas.
Great. I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
I have never heard of that.
What else are you doing? What do you do on Christmas?
On Christmas, you do Cornish hens.
Here we go, because you're a 7-day Adventist person.
What does 7-day? First of all, hold on. Wait a minute.
You know what it has to do with? No, because 7-day Adventists don't eat shit, so I can't trust you,
ma'am. I am black.
So is your husband, but he's a 7-day Adventist.
My husband is Carlton. There's a difference. He's not a Will.
You better not be a Will.
My husband is a I would be considered the Will of this relationship. Will, what's his daughter's name? Willow. I don't want to be called a man, but I'm black. Okay, very much so black when it comes to the kitchen. I make what he likes 1000%. But Thanksgiving and Christmas, this is my time. And people come over, y'all ain't got to eat this portion. Here's your portion, but this is what I'm going to eat.
Yeah.
We ain't doing no 7-day Adventist Thanksgivings. I went to a 7-day Adventist. I think it was Thanksgiving or Christmas, and I
Yeah.
tasted greens that had garlic in it, and I was pissed the fuck off. I was
Greens
mad.
with garlic.
I was mad. You did not
I mean-
put garlic in these greens.
I mean, I like garlic, but I've never had greens with garlic. That's weird.
Collard greens. They disrespected the greens so bad, Mo.
Oh man. People be you have your peoples that don't want the vinegar. You have the people that like the vinegar. You got the people that do turkey necks or ham hocks,
gotta get the
or
turkey
bacon. Yeah, I feel like you got to do the turkey necks with the greens.
I just bought some turkey necks.
You got people who do big pieces of greens versus chopped up pieces of greens, little tiny.
Absolutely.
And then you got them people that don't wash their greens, and then you're just like, what is this?
You
You
nasty.
could tell you're nasty.
Share your Thanksgiving pictures and make sure you tag. We're gonna shorten our name. So if you want to tag our show in any of your social media postings, especially for Thanksgiving and Christmas, please tag SITM. Hashtag SITM. It's awesome. I want to see y'all's dishes because
I just found out we're
I'm
shortening
gonna
our
judge
name.
it. You what?
I just found out. I didn't know we were shortening. Are we just doing it for the hashtag, or we're
Just for the
shortening?
hashtag.
Oh, okay. I was like, shit. Well, thanks. Thanks for running it by me.
You didn't
Ben
tell me this.
Shapiro.
What the hell? You
Thanks for-
see now. Ooh, we about to test this friendship out. You called me Ben Shapiro.
Wait, hold on. Let me pay homage here or not pay respects to Alicia, who I think I can see in the picture. Your husband is black, and this explains your menu. But she does fried chicken, which, by the way, Alicia, hit me up on the DMs, and I'll give you my address. Fried chicken, no turkey. I love it because I'm not even a turkey fan. Spiral
Southern
ham,
green beans.
southern green beans, not casserole. Mashed potatoes, baked mac and cheese, sweet
Ew,
potato
you can leave that.
dressing, and sweet potato pie, which I don't even do that, but still, we'll forgive all that. And sometimes apple pie. So let's give Alicia and her Thanksgiving menu.
Alicia, I'm coming to your house for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yes,
I'm hungry.
absolutely. Okay. Why do most people get Thursday and Friday off work for American Thanksgiving?
So do most people get Thursday and Friday off.
Yes, they do.
I don't know.
Because-
Why? I don't know.
Well, Thursday is Thanksgiving, right? And then I think they do Friday because Thanksgiving always falls on a Thursday. I think they do Friday to allot for people traveling and coming back from Thanksgiving and all this other stuff because then it's like a long weekend. Yeah. Ooh,
Said,
she's
come
from-
on.
That's my hometown, Alicia.
We pulling up, man. We pulling up. I'm trying to taste all y'all's. I need a plate from everybody so I can
need a
taste
plate.
everybody's food.
That's right.
All right, I'm getting hungry and I have not had a full meal, so let's get off
I know.
Thanksgiving. And I hope to see your pictures of your Thanksgiving dishes. If it looks bad, I won't tell you it looks bad. I'm gonna be super nice during the holiday season.
I'm going to tell you it looks bad because I don't hold back. I'm just going to be like, I'm sure it's good. But I'm just going to tell you right now, I think including mine, like if I were to pile all my Thanksgiving meals on a plate, it would look bad just because the color palette is just not my jam. Okay. Let's tell the peoples what we're going to talk about. The color palette, darling. Okay. So we're going to talk about some exciting stuff today. We titled this live Scandal because I feel like everything is just scandal related. Just like last week, it was Repeal the 19th related. I'm sure Soonie will be back. She just clicked out. Everything was Repeal the 19th related. This week is going to be scandal related, or today is going to be scandal related. So of course, the big one that has been trending all over social media is the Cassie lawsuit that has been filed against Sean P. Diddy Combs.
Crazy.
It's crazy, you guys. I have the lawsuit. We're going to pull it up. Soonie has been diving into it, so she's knowledgeable enough. But I'm going to read through some very interesting sections of that lawsuit. Then we're going to follow up on the Candace and Ben Shapiro beef. There was some responses going back and forth, and I'm going to make a prediction based on the video that Candace, or the post, the very lengthy post that Candace put up, and also the message she gave at the end of her last interview today before she goes on maternity leave. I'm thinking she's not coming back to the Daily Wire. But
you think so?
Yeah, I kind of felt like it was like a little bye.
Farewell.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, she's about to have her baby. I mean, the girl is 40 weeks pregnant. Shout out to her. Then Budlight gets exposed in the Dylan Mulvaney PR stunt. Mr. Steven Crowder put out some documents showing the amounts of money that he was paid for this whole all these shenanigans that he was doing with the Bud Light thing. I mean, Steven Crowder may have had like the documents, but to tell you the truth, the news he broke was nothing really that groundbreaking, but we'll still talk about it so you guys can understand what was involved there.
Oh,
And then
Lord.
Snoop Diggity Dog has given up smoking. Well, he said he's given up smoke. We're assuming it's the sticky icky type smoke. But this has prompted a ton of people to be like, oh, Snoop Dogg's giving up smoking. I'm giving up smoking. So we're going to talk about that. I think we might be in the throes of the fat lady singing, because not only has Snoop Dogg given up smoke, but Michael Rapaport, who has been Trump's biggest critic online, has stated that he pretty much is at the end of his rope with Biden, and he's probably going to have to vote for Trump. Helleth has frozen over.
It's still Michael Rapaport, because he came out and said some really disgusting things about Kanye West. So
He did.
he can go play in traffic for a little bit until I forgive him.
Yeah. And what do you got? You got some stuff too. You got some topics.
I do. I have the Breonna Taylor ghost
yes.
coming back to haunt Americans. The officer was, I'm sorry, not the officer, but the case involving Officer Brett Hankinson, the guy who was charged with wanton. I was saying wanton today. Mo made fun of me. Wanton and reckless endangerment. He actually had a mistrial due to not enough evidence to convict him at a federal level, which I thought was pretty interesting. Why are all these cases resurfacing? So I'm going to talk about that. Of course, Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro. I have a few thoughts on that. I actually have a lot of thoughts on her recent tweets. An AG in Virginia is calling for university leaders across the Commonwealth to address the rising anti-Semitism. That is also a very interesting discussion that we're going to have, because it correlates to the pieces of legislation that I've been telling people about for probably a month and a half.
Yep.
Crazy.
You know, speaking, and I'm just going to get ahead of you guys having to say, I think Soonie was right. Speaking of Candace's last interview, she did an interview with a gentleman who is an academic scholar in regards to the Middle East stuff. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. The interview was extremely interesting. As some of you guys might know, Candace interviewed a pro-Israeli comedian on her channel. And so she also interviewed somebody who I wouldn't say is pro-Palestine or pro-Israel. He's just very knowledgeable. And he himself stated, I am pro-facts, which has always been kind of like Soonie's thing, that she never really takes sides in things. And if she does, it's because she has the facts to support it. But a lot of the stuff he's saying is stuff that Soonie had reported very early on in this situation. And after listening to that interview, which I really highly suggest you guys go do if you're interested in that, I told Soonie, I said, just wait and see. All these people are going to now, because Candace had this guy on there, they might change their tune.
Yep.
Now, Candace she was very quiet during the interview and listened, which I really, really admire about her, because she's just giving this gentleman an opportunity to present some facts on her show.
Yeah.
And she didn't give her thoughts on it either way, but it's really, really interesting. So
good. Shout out to her for
to
broadening the discussion and bringing a nuanced way of discussing things to the forefront. I don't think we really have that on the right or the left. It's kind of been always fighting extremes, and it's hard for people to have nuanced discussion because when you're having a nuanced discussion, you're having to operate on offense, not
Mhm.
defense.
Mhm.
So you have to know what you're talking about. And I think that is a safe space for both the right and the left to have very just surface level extreme discussions that mean nothing at the end
Mhm.
of the day.
Yeah. Candace made a very important statement in the kind of farewell letter that she put up on her page. One of the lines said, "Never trust anybody who only wants to provide one side of the story to you." And
Yep.
that is such a great statement and something that I think everybody should think about when they're looking at where they get their facts, who they get their facts from. Are they only presenting one side of the story to you? And if so, why would they do that?
Yeah, why? What is their intention?
Yeah.
She also said, are we going to talk about that first?
We can. We
I
can,
have
I
one
think.
more topic that we're going to discuss. I don't know how many people haven't really been paying attention to the Jewish protester that passed away ultimately from his injuries due to falling and hitting his head at
Mhm.
one of the protests in Los Angeles. Well, a pro-Palestinian protester was arrested and charged with involuntary manslaughter related to his death. I wanted to get your opinion on that
Now the
because
other
I
guy
found
was
that
Israeli,
super
you
odd.
said?
So one guy was pro-Israel, he's a Jewish
Mhm.
guy, and the
Mhm.
other guy is Palestinian.
Let me see. Protester. He hits his head. Did he die? What? Tell me what happened.
So allegedly, I have to say this, allegedly, they were at a protest. The two are of course are in they're antithetical to each other. He hits him. Now, when I say he, I'm talking about the pro-Palestinian protester hits the pro-Israeli protester in the face, causing him to fall down and smack his head on the ground. And he ultimately died due to his injuries. And they're saying that this is related to him being smacked in the face with a megaphone by the pro-Palestinian guy.
Oh, I remember that. Okay, yes, I
Yeah.
remember seeing that on social media. This guy.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about that and have a nuanced discussion. These things deserve a nuanced discussion.
So you're asking me what I thought about the incident?
Well, they have since then charged him with
Uh-huh.
his death because they're saying him hitting him in the face or wherever he hit him caused his fall, which
Mhm.
resulted in his death.
Is there a video?
There is no video. There's just a 3-second video after the fact, but there is no video that I have come across. I've been looking all over the internet for the actual interaction between them both, which
Mhm.
would formulate a better opinion. But that's why I
Hmm.
wanted to talk to you about it because the media is doing what the media does, bro.
Right.
It's insane. It's
Yeah.
it's insane. I just
Yeah.
want to call out a hypocrisy when it comes to that. I was all professional today, guys. I sat and wrote a crap ton of notes for this show. Because Candace inspired, like kind of rejuvenated my drive. I don't ever really get tired, but I
Mm.
do grow frustrated. And I think that
Mm.
comes out within my content
Yeah.
where I'm growing increasingly frustrated because people do not want to have nuanced discussions. It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
So shout out to her.
You know what else too? And I was talking to Dave about this that's frustrating. And I you know me, even when we've been critical of Candace, I still always say I respect Candace. I'm a fan of Candace, right?
Yeah.
Even though we're critical of her. Anyways, I think what always frustrates me is, and I guess this is the power of being a true influencer and having the platform like hers that she's built.
Mhm.
But it's so frustrating sometimes because she will say the exact same thing we sit on this show all the time and talk about and say,
Yeah.
like weeks and weeks before she says it or
Yeah.
anybody says it. And then because she says it, boom, everybody's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, come on, wake up.
Dude,
Do me
do
a
you
fault.
want to
Like
hear?
that just infuriates me to the point like where it sometimes puts me in a bad mood because I'm just like, it makes me mad.
Do you want to hear a transparent moment?
Yeah.
I had the exact same thoughts you had. I was reading. Can we pull up her farewell tweet? I was reading her farewell tweet, and exactly what you said you felt, I felt in that moment.
Hold on, because I got to send it to myself.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because we know Soonie's banned.
Dude, please. Look, I don't even want to talk about it on here because it infuriates me.
She's banned from WhatsApp. I'm going to send it to you in WhatsApp, even though you're not going to get it in WhatsApp, but whatever. So
How do you get banned from WhatsApp, bro? Like,
they must have thought you were like one of those like Nigerian scammers.
My luck is just in the trash at this point.
Hey, Jacqueline, how are you doing?
What's up?
Okay, let's see here. All right, so let me just pull this up right now. It's quite a long tweet, or not tweet, but like message. Yeah. Okay, so but I'll read it to you guys. So it says, I'm not sure why I'm trending again. Frankly, I'm sick of it after this week, but as I'm about to embark on maternity leave, there are perhaps a few things I would like to say. After a little over a year of producing my podcast, I would like to clarify who I am and who I'm not. The former of which I thought would have been obvious by now. I started my career being maimed and attacked as being anti-Black and self-hating for challenging the Black Lives Matter narrative and the lockstep commitment that corporations, politicians, Hollywood, and media had in fostering a hysterical illusion that no one had the right to challenge the movement because of slavery. I didn't do this by telling the other side to shut up. In fact, I hosted the other side, BLM chapter leaders and protesters on my various platforms. I flew out to Atlanta and stood on stage with T.I. and was disrespected for my unique stance at a hip hop conference. I was similarly disrespected on the world stage by Dave Chappelle during a stand-up he delivered following the death of George Floyd. I took all of this on the chin and was willing to become a punching bag and a laughingstock to many because reputation means little to me in the pursuit of truth. This may be I'm not here to make friends or be well liked. Life is not a popularity contest. I'm here to differentiate between truth and fiction so that my kids can grow up in a more honest world. BLM, both as an organization and ideology, has been fundamentally exposed and is now recognized as fraudulent. This process took years, plus more and more than a few good men that were willing to stand up to its lies, but it no longer holds any political significance. Frankly, because it never should have, because BLM destroyed lives, chief among them Black lives and Black neighborhoods. It is stunning to me that people who applauded me as I stood up and had conversations and rightfully critiqued and continue to critique the flaws in my own community do not think that I should or would muster up the same courage to ask simple questions or make basic observations about theirs. There is no two-tier system in my mind. Your specific race, color, or creed does not make you above reproach. If you watch my podcast regularly, you know how very true this is. I love and hate all of you with equal measure. Some people are wondering why I had the nerve to sit down with Norman Finkelstein. That's the guy that she did the interview with today. Mm-hmm. Norman is an accomplished academic whose parents both survived the Holocaust, who has made a name for himself defending Palestine. I don't know if this is out of order, but anyways, it says, lately, everything I tweet, say, or don't say has been under a microscope. So rather than let people think they are wizards and can magically read between the lines, invent something out of their own paranoid neurosis, let me clearly spell out the reason why for everyone here now. Because last week I had pro-Israel Jewish man Ami Kozak on my podcast, and he was amazing and he was respectful, and we had a great dialogue that everyone in the comment section applauded and loved, because it is important that in the pursuit of truth, we hear all sides so that we can learn and independently conduct our own research. It really is that simple. So go listen to my podcast with Ami and go listen to my podcast with Norman and make an effort to make up your own mind. Here's what I've learned in politics. Never, ever trust anyone who only represents to you one side. Never trust anyone who yells at you for wanting to hear both sides. Never trust people who call you stupid and put you down for admitting that you don't know everything. These people are authoritarians, not experts or respectable journalists. As just one example, the experts didn't want to debate about COVID and vaccination for a reason. That's because they were liars and frauds. I want everyone to know that a willingness to listen, research, and learn is enough. It will always bring you closer to the truth. I'm going to stop there because I think that's the part that spoke to you. Am I correct?
Yeah. And the fact that Candace is like, I'm stunned that people think that I'm not going to have the same energy towards another group.
Mm-hmm.
You guys I've said this several times, y'all will sit and watch me go in on Black people.
Yep. Love
But
it.
the second we deviate away from that, it's a problem. Now, the reason I felt anger is because I'm like, people are going to applaud her when they cast anybody down before her who did it. But then I had to check myself and say, you know what? Candace just opened up a large avenue for people to even go and look for journalists like us. For real. So there's no reason to be salty. It sucks because people are stupid and they suffer from confirmation bias. It just is what it is. A person who they trust, a person who they like has to say something in order for the rest of the people to follow suit. You mentioned Candace just reshared your story and you got followers from that. Why? Because Candace Owens shared it. Like
the Candace Owens effect. That's what I called it.
Yeah, kitty. So I had that moment where I was just like, I've been saying this for years and people act like I'm freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm going to do is just like you said, I'm going to watch the heads fall. And I can't wait to see who switches their tune up after dying on a sword for I don't know how many years. It's real change comes from inside.
Yeah.
It's not an instant thing that you get on the internet and do. It's not.
But I'm going to share with you like what's really on my mind about that, because this is the sad truth about it is there are people that are going to read that her statements actually are applying to them because they're like the number one perpetrators of being like this.
Yes.
And they're going to be like, yeah, I wonder who she's talking about. Idiot. She's talking about you. But you think that you like, you know what I mean? Like they have such a false perception of how they actually are. Like David J. Harris is a great example of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and the saddest part is his followers actually think he's fighting for freedom and fighting for America. He doesn't give a shit. And I'm sorry if that breaks your heart because he does a really good job of making it seem like he cares. And it would really just tear your soul apart to know you've been following a fraud this entire time, but you are.
It's that simple.
You are. I'm sorry to tell you that.
I'm happy. I'm happy that this is happening and I'm happy that the discussion is happening because, and I know we have to tread light. This is actually amazing. All these topics are segueing kind of down the line.
They always do.
And it happens not even on purpose.
Yeah.
We have to tread light on this specific topic. Yes, we're getting into Ben Shapiro right now. We have to tread light on this. I made a video yesterday where I said, I think it is rather absurd. I said exactly what Candace said, just in a different way. I think it's absurd that you can sit on your platform and do nothing but criticize Black people multiple times a day across all of your videos. I find it just very odd that Ben Shapiro feels comfortable with showcasing the worst parts of Black people, the absolute worst, while completely ignoring the best sides of us, the inspiring sides of us. Why don't you continuously have Bryson Gray on there? Why can't Kanye West appear on your show? Why you're not reaching out to D1? Like, if you guys are really interested in captivating the Black audience and showcasing another side, wouldn't you bring the positivity to the show? You would think you would, but he sits on this platform and he does nothing but disparage. So I ask people, how do you like resolve that within yourself, that you actively watch someone? And I wonder how he resolves it with himself. You actively watch someone do nothing but criticize but lose their mind when you criticize their people. Like what? I
Yeah.
wonder what thought that triggers in people's minds. And Candace Owens just brought it to light. I wonder how many people are going to go back and look at a lot of his content and call a spade a spade.
Mm-hmm. They won't.
Why can't we talk about these things? Everything has been labeled anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Much like everything was labeled white supremacist or racist, or
Mm-hmm.
the Coca-Cola standards for whites having to apologize for their whiteness. Like,
Yeah.
all we're doing is taking this down another lane or another avenue just on the right. That's it. You have
Mhm.
attorney generals, the attorney general in Virginia, this is crazy to me, is calling for university leaders to do something about the increasing anti-Semitism that is occurring on college campuses across the Commonwealth, Virginia. His quote is, "Countless Virginia students of Jewish background feel threatened and unsupported in today's climate on our college campuses." Do we not have articles about Black students not feeling like they belonged on
Mhm.
campuses across the United States?
Mhm.
And it was completely struck down. This is ridiculous. We all have the right to exist where we want to exist.
Right.
Well, that's not the case when it comes to this. The Attorney General ousted groups such as Students for Justice in Palestine, which have held demonstrations chanting, "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free." I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Mayares statements such as the ones above, the one I just read, call for the complete destruction of Israel and deny the land's right to exist. This is straight propaganda. How does saying, "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free," call for the destruction of Israel? If you look on the opposite side, and I'll show this as well, if you look on the opposite side of this conflict, you have politicians right now in office calling to level the place.
Mhm.
You have influencers calling to level the place. And no one is labeling this Arab hate or Palestinian hate. It's perfectly fine to call for a violence and a destruction against Palestinian people, but
Yeah.
don't you dare do it. Don't you dare do it to the Jewish population.
Right.
Once again, pushing Candace's point even further of, she's stunned that these people really feel like they're above reproach. That's really what she said. It's
Mhm.
crazy to me that you feel like I can't criticize you when you have supported me and watched me for so many years criticize my own. How does this work?
Yeah.
How does this work?
Do you think that this situation made her see that a little bit more, or do you think she's
I
always
truly
You
do.
do? Yeah.
I
Mhm.
truly do. I think so many people really felt like this angle was an emotional one, because I did too. I
Mhm.
did too. I'm like, okay, whatever. There's some people that don't want to hear me talk about this, but there's some people that do want to hear me talk about it. But when you see it at this level,
Yeah.
it does shock your mind, because you're like, bro, what? Are you serious? I can't talk about this? Why?
Right.
And then you're not given a reason outside of, well, it's because it's just hateful. It's anti-Semitic. That's it. That's it. No other explanation behind it.
Yeah.
Um, the AG of Virginia is also citing the ADL's reports of incidences of harassment, vandalism, and assault against Jewish people, and they said there has been an increase of 388%. So since October 7th, they have had an increase of 388% in all of those categories. So you know what I do, me and my nosy self. I want to go see what the actual numbers are. What do you mean there's been a 388%? This is deceptive. This is how they get you in these articles to where you're like, oh my gosh, 388% increase. Well, in the year 2022, only 64 instances of quote unquote anti-Semitism was reported by the ADL. Okay. In 2022, the next thing they did was factor in a total of 312 incidents between October 7th and the 23rd. That is where that 388 increase comes from. Now, let's get into the more nuanced discussion behind this. Are these actual instances of anti-Semitism? Are they? If you look at what they report, I think all of us would be hard pressed to try to figure out how this is anywhere near hate speech. So they give a sample of incidences across the world. A car with individuals holding Palestinian flags appeared to be intentionally swerving out of its lane, nearly hitting a visible Jewish family. Are you serious?
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Really? This is what we're doing.
That's a stretch.
On the 9th of October, a Jewish student was harassed, shoved, and called an effing Zionist while painting a free speech rock with an Israeli flag on the campus of Wayne State University. We have no way of confirming these stories. We have no way. These are the
No.
instances of anti-Semitism that they're talking about, this 388% increase. In Los Angeles, October 10th, an individual shouted, "I am Hamas," and made death threats towards Jewish individuals standing by a kosher restaurant. The last time I checked, the right calls for the death of sitting politicians when they don't do what they want them to do. Is that deemed anti-American? Or is
Nope.
that your freedom of speech that you're allowed to do this, especially when your government is full of crap? Where are we?
Yep. I'm telling you.
Sorry, I
You
know I've
know,
been ranting, but like, it's not given, bro.
yeah, so this is, and somebody said it in the chat. This is in regards to the anti-BDS laws that passed in 38 states. Now, it actually, I think, passed in 2019. It's just now making its way like through more of the states.
Yes.
But I haven't looked into it. But it looks like there is a list here, 17 members of Congress who voted against condemning BDS laws. Let me just see if there's anybody we really care about on here. Of course, AOC did. Rashiba Tlaib. Yeah. Anyways, I mean, there's nobody really that I'm like, oh my gosh, on this list that I can see. But you know,
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's exactly the same thing. Like, my channel getting banned for 2 weeks because they said it was hate speech. You know, what's funny is like they completely delete the video, which doesn't allow me to go back and be like, well, wait a minute, let me see, like, what are you talking about? I have no say in the matter. They deemed it hate speech, therefore it is hate speech.
That's it.
This is what it is, guys.
That's it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to show the actual document. If you guys want to go listen, please go fact check me. Go look at all these things. But understand that you have an attorney general in the state of Virginia calling for university leaders across the Commonwealth to address the anti-Semitism on campuses because thousands of Jewish students feel unsafe and unsupported in today's college campus climate. Recognize that all you are doing is listening to a regurgitated form of the Marxist agenda, which is BLM. That is all. Go do your research. Fact check what I'm saying here, because all these things, according to legislation that is not only passed in Florida, but legislation that is passed in 38 states within the United States, all it has to be is a perceived threat, perceived assault. That means that you get to put forth your own reality.
Perception.
Exactly.
Somebody's perception. And we can guess who those perceptions are.
Let's do better. 64 incidents in 2022. 64.
Yeah.
Does that not sound exactly like what Black people do when police shoot unarmed Blacks? They give this broad number, but don't explain, okay, let's talk about what was going on with the 64.
Yeah.
Were they fighting officers? Well, if you fight, you might get shot. So let's boot them off the list. Were any of these people innocently just targeted by police officers because they were black? No? Okay, then boot the rest of the people off the list. What are we talking about?
Right. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. It's scary. It really is scary that these are the times we're in and that people aren't seeing where this is all headed. They're not seeing the writing on the wall, which is even worse. Because by the time I'm sorry, go ahead.
Do you think people don't see it, or do you think people don't want to see it? Because at this point, I think you have to be purposely blind.
No,
what's happening.
I think no, because I think you sometimes give people too much credit that they're actually like smart. I think people don't see it. And I think it's because they're just like, well, I mean, there is blatant hate going around. Like, look at all these statements that people make. Like you saw it with the whole Candace and Ben Shapiro thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go and look at the comments on her posts, like for the most part, they are very supportive of her. But like when you go on to Ben Shapiro's posts, right? You see people in there going like, good for you, Ben. You know, she's, you know, her true colors are showing. And it's like, whoa, like seriously? Yeah, it's scary. That really does scare me. And I think it's just because people just don't know enough. Like they're just going on what they see, what the internet has told them to believe. You and I, we go far beyond the post. We go far beyond that. Well beyond that. Not everybody does.
I agree. Maybe I do give people too much credit. And the reason I do it is because I am legit a housewife that just loves to read. I don't have any formal education. I've never been a politician. I haven't gone to school for any of these jobs that these people have. Listen, like we got to do better. Shout out to Julius, by the way. I put this up because he's another person who has been very instrumental in highlighting the false narrative that has been presented in this conflict. I'm not going to talk about what conflict I'm talking about because we can't do that on YouTube. Can't talk about that. But today with Julius, go follow him. YouTube, Instagram, Propaganda Fluent. Go follow her. She's on YouTube. She's on Instagram. She's on Twitter. These are some amazing journalists that are putting out accurate information and they're not falling to either side. They're calling a spade a spade. We need more people like that. So go support them. Please go support them.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about the Candace and Ben thing really quick. She recently went on to Tucker Carlson. So if you guys haven't watched that interview, go watch that interview. I was wanting to play a clip from it where she was responding to that, but Twitter is just being weird because I think there's just a lot of people watching it continuously. I mean, it's gotten a ton of views. But basically, if you don't know, the beef between the two pundits unfolded this week after Shapiro, forceful supporter of Israel, obviously, was filmed at a private event calling Candace Owens disgraceful for her faux, in his words, faux sophistication on the conflict. Conservatives have previously criticized Owens for her statements, including a post on X in which she said, quote, "No government anywhere has a right to commit genocide." Though she clarified she did not mention Israel or any other country. YouTube, we're just quoting. This is not our thoughts.
We're quoting YouTube.
Yes. Owens posted a series of Bible verses Wednesday, including that you cannot serve both God and money. Obviously, that was directed towards Shapiro. Shapiro responded in a post that was liked only 26,000 times, which for Shapiro, that's not a whole lot, telling her that if taking money from the Daily Wire somehow comes between you and God, by all means quit. Well, shots fired. Basically, people just like lost their minds. Minutes later, Owens accused Shapiro of acting unprofessional and emotionally unhinged for weeks. And called him utterly out of line for suggesting that she cannot quote biblical scriptures, garnering more than 50,000 likes on both posts. Owens also appeared on the episode of Tucker Carlson show, which premiered on Wednesday, where she called his comments ad hominem attacks that she couldn't respond to on a level of intellect. I love the way Candace snaps back. Like she really
insulted the crap out of him.
She is the queen of savagery. Queen, okay? Owens previously rushed to her friend. This, you guys, if you guys don't remember, she previously rushed to her friend Kanye West's defense after he made a widely criticized post in October stating he would go XXXXX on the you-know-whos, because I can't read that statement. If you were an honest person, you did not think this tweet was anti-Semitic, she posted on her social media and on Parler. Owens has her own history of making comments that appear, well, I can't read that either because that mentions the Holocaust. When asked about globalism. Anyways, we won't talk about it because the further I read, the more I'm going to get in trouble.
You're gonna get in trouble.
Needless to say, Candace, she has responded extremely professionally to Ben, okay? Made it very clear that Ben has not since said a word to her since being caught at this private event, talking about his colleague. She had no warning, no idea that this was coming, and he has not said anything to her, yet she is getting a microphone put in her face saying, what is your comment? We already know what she thinks.
Yeah. I'm going to, man, you know what? I'm coming out with a shirt. I don't even care. I'm gonna shut winter down. It's gonna be super simple. I can't put it out there because I don't want nobody taking my idea. You know how people get.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a design done by tomorrow, and I'm gonna have a shirt by the next show. That's all I'm gonna say. I might even make it a hoodie just to make a statement.
Okay. Well. Anyways, Candace is going on maternity leave. Today was her very last show. I'm sorry I'm frozen, guys. One of these sites that I have open is causing my computer to lag. But anyways, I'm sure you can hear me. But she did post a message on her Instagram, which I'm going to pull up hopefully in a second here, where she gives a little message to her fans as well. And this was the message that I was like, I don't know. I think this is kind of like a adios. After I pop this kid, y'all ain't gonna get a piece of Candace, okay? Because I feel like, she's gonna be in a state of her third child. You know what I mean? She's gonna be in a different state of mind. And I feel like that's the moment in which a woman really like boils up, like when she's got all this time to think and look at her baby and realize what's really important. I don't know. What do y'all think, dude? Y'all think Candace is gonna quit the Daily Wire? I want to know in the comments. I'm pulling this up. I'm sorry to keep delaying. I'm like small talking really quick. But do you guys think that she's gonna stay with the Daily Wire? One thing I do want to make clear is that in her interview with Tucker, she said, I think people have a little confused that they think that Ben is my boss.
Yeah, she did say that.
She was like, he's not my boss. He's my colleague. Yes, he is a co-founder of the Daily Wire, but he is not the CEO. Not one of the three. I think there's 3 CEOs. One of them is Jeremy Boring, and then another guy. And that's it. Those are the people that she reports to. So
she said, I don't answer to you, sir. Go sit down. That's what she said.
She said, take several seats, basically. I mean, like in my mind, that's what she said. In my mind, everything she said translated to take several seats. Okay, so I have the video pulled up here. I just imagine Ben like just seething right now. Like he's got his little, what is that little thing called? That little hat. He's got the little hat on. No, that's not the yarmulke. It's called something else. I mean, I think people know it as the yarmulke, but its official name is something else. But anyways, I just picture him like in front of a menorah, just like seething. You know what I mean?
Talking very fast like this, Yeah.
He's like, Candace, I don't know what to say, Candace. I mean, and like, you think I'm a co-founder, so Candace, get it straight, get the facts straight. Facts don't hurt feelings.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
Yeah. All right, here's Candace's message. Listen and let me know what you guys think.
Show before I go on maternity leave. Next time I see you, I will have another child. I will be a mother of 3, which seems absolutely crazy to me. It's happened so fast. What an amazing blessing. I am so grateful to all of you guys for this wonderful year that we've had. The first full year of the podcast being out, everybody who has subscribed to this channel. And I hope you subscribe to it because you see that even if I don't get it right all the time, that from the bottom of my heart, I am honest and really trying to understand all of the issues that are happening around the world. I could not be here without you guys and your tremendous support of me always, everywhere, always having my back, always being willing to listen. And so as we head into the Thanksgiving holiday, I want to just say how grateful I am to each and every one of you for the platform that I have, for the continued platform that I had. Genuinely, I love you guys so much, and I will see you all in the new year. This is my...
What do you think?
I don't think Candace is coming back to the Daily Wire. I don't.
Yeah.
I think outside of that video, her being stunned that you cannot talk about these people is really going to, if she is the journalist that I believe she is, that is going to rattle her core. It's not going to sit well with her. She's not going to be able to not talk about it. She already likened it to BLM. She's already done all these things. I don't see this going away, and I don't see her going down quietly. I don't.
Yeah. Now we don't know like what her contract with the Daily Wire states, but I know Candace ain't no fool. She didn't sign no bitch ass, punk contract where she's locked in there. I'm sure she's got all sorts of stuff that she, either it's coming to an end and she's got like some type of clause or whatever. I don't think they're ever going to fire her because I feel like they would lose a huge...
Oh, that would kill them.
That would kill them because like they have a subscription, to the Daily Wire. And I'm sure the people that subscribe mainly subscribe for Candace more than anything. Yeah. Where do I think she'll go? I said this last week and it was even more enforced when I saw her on Tucker's show. Cause I thought, okay, who travels? Tucker's not, I don't think he's in Nashville. I was like, who travels at 40 weeks and does an interview? Unless you're having like another meeting about something really big. And I kind of feel like maybe her and Tucker were, having a business meeting. I think that would be great. I think that would be a great combo.
It would be great.
Yeah. So anyways,
I think this really goes hand in hand with Steven Crowder's Big Con.
Yeah.
Moniker. I think conservative media is going to get a taste of what it feels like to be treated like mainstream media and lose all your credibility because you've become a political tool. It's truly what I believe. We'll see if I'm right, though.
Yeah.
I haven't lost yet.
It's like a full circle moment is what it's going to be. It's really,
and you know what? People are going to have to come back and be like, damn, Steven Crowder had a point, bro. Big Con is just way out of control. Ben Shapiro, he got too big for his britches. Yeah, I think what you just said is disreputable. That was a strong word. You know what that means?
Disreputable?
I don't care about my reputation. It's about the truth at the end of the day.
Yeah. The fuck? Damn. All right. Who's ready for this? The Cassie.
Listen. This Cassie situation. I think I'm going to piss the audience off.
Are you?
I think I'm gonna piss a lot of people off. Yeah. Yep. Let's just go ahead and get into it, and I'll drop my opinions on it. But I think people are gonna be pissed off. I truly do.
Well, if you guys don't know who Cassie is, and I certainly hope you know who P Diddy is, otherwise I don't even know where you've been. But they used to date back in the day. Okay. She was a singer. She's had many, many songs.
She was a performer.
A performer, sorry, not a singer. I'm a singer. Soonie's a singer. Cassie's a performer. I am so glad I did not take that call from Diddy. Let me just tell you, okay? Because I am not the one for the stuff that was listed. I am not the one who was for the stuff that was listed in this lawsuit. Because baby,
I didn't take the call from Diddy. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Listen, okay. So she files. I'm going to get into the lawsuit. You guys saw that I just had the lawsuit in front of me, okay? Cassie files a $30 million lawsuit against Diddy, accusing him of sex with male prostitutes. Well, me?
Okay, you froze for a second. I thought that was me.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Male prostitutes while he recorded and forced himself on her throughout their relationship. Okay, so that is the accusation. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, I was keeping the energy the same. I was like, oh, here we go, right? Here we go. But something in me was like, well, wait a minute. Diddy is a little different from some of the other women that have come out against some guys saying he hit me and blah, 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 blah. Because usually in those instances, it's the first time we've heard some stuff come out, right?
Mhm.
But I feel like this Diddy and Cassie thing is turning into like R. Kelly 2.0 in the sense that, like R. Kelly, we heard about these women for a long time, like we kind of heard rumblings and there were people in the industry who were saying stuff. Same thing with Diddy, we've had bodyguards, we've had associates, we've had Justin Bieber, Chris Brown, 50 Cent, like some notable people have come out and said some stuff. And, I don't know. Like I was just like, okay, well, let me take this into a little bit more of some thought. Okay. And Cassie, she's really not doing music. Like she's now married. She's been married. She's got a couple kids. She's doing the housewife thing. You know what I mean? Like her husband's successful. So she's not like really like aching for money. I mean, anybody can use $30 million, but okay. But I got my hands on this thing here. Okay. So we're going to read some of the story to y'all so you guys can understand. Cause I was like, whoa. I was like, whoa, hold up. Wait a minute.
Man.
So as you can see, so this is Cassie. Cassie Ventura is her name. She is suing Sean Combs, Bad Boy Entertainment, Bad Boy Records, Epic Records, Combs Enterprises, and Doe Corps, whoever that is. This is what I found interesting right off the bat. Trigger warning. Okay. I'd never seen a trigger warning on some court documents. Okay. Is that this document contains highly graphic information of sexual nature, including sexual assault. Now, warning, if you are sensitive to this stuff, go take a urination sample, go get a snack, go walk your dog. Don't listen to this because you're about to be triggered. Okay. So I told you who she's suing. Okay. This is kind of gives you an idea of where it all started. So defendant Sean Combs is a rapper and record executive popularly known by his stage name Puff Daddy, P Diddy, or Diddy. Mr. Combs came to fame in the early 1990s. It gives you like a little bit of a thing, whatever. In 2022, I remember this award show. Mr. Combs received the Lifetime Achievement Award at the BET Awards. During his acceptance speech, Mr. Combs stated, now keep in mind, this was after his baby mama and longtime girlfriend, Kim Porter, had died. That's another mysterious thing he's tied to, according to Kimora Lee Simmons, who we don't even trust either, but still. Okay. Mr. Combs stated in his speech, I have a special shout out. Thank you, love, to all the people that was really there for me. He named a number of people before adding, and also Cassie for holding me down in the dark times. Okay. Now, after you read this, because when I first saw that, I was like, oh, that's so sweet of him. And I was feeling all bad because his baby mama and his girlfriend had died, blah, 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 blah. Well, the truth is this. Cassie Ventura was held down by Mr. Combs and endured over a decade of violent behavior and disturbed demands. For Miss Ventura, the dark times were those she spent trapped by Mr. Combs in a cycle of abuse, violence, and sex trafficking, among other violent and awful acts. So I'm going to read to you what they were, and then I'm going to go into the details of a few of these. Number one, she claims that he raped her in her own home after she tried to leave him, often punched, beat, kicked, and stomped on her, resulting in bruises, burst lips, black eyes, and bleeding. Blew up Kid Cudi's car after he learned that he was romantically interested in Miss Ventura. His car really did blow up, by the way. Forced Miss Ventura to engage in sex acts with male sex workers while masturbating and filming the encounters. Ran out of his apartment with a firearm in pursuit of a rival industry executive whom he learned lived nearby. Demanded that Miss Ventura carry his firearm in her purse just to make her uncomfortable and demonstrate how dangerous he was. Introduced her to a lifestyle of excessive alcohol, substance abuse, and required her to procure illicit prescriptions to satisfy his own addictions. Okay, so it goes into a long story in here, and I'll put this in the description box of our video so you guys can go check this out. It goes into a long description of their relationship. She was 19 when they met. He was 37. So it kind of resembles the R. Kelly situation where he would, meet these really young girls, talk to them about music career. Now, in the R. Kelly situation, many of them never ended up coming to fruition. In this case, Cassie had, I would say for that time, a pretty successful career. So I'm going to skip through the whole backstory, right? Because it talks about their relationship in here leading up to it, talking about how while at the beginning it was controlling to her as a 19-year-old girl trying to start out in the music industry, she was just kind of like, oh, okay, he wants to come to my 21st birthday party. Okay, I guess he'll come. Well, he didn't ask her. He just showed up. Oh, he wants to buy me a car. That's so cool. Oh, he wants to buy me an apartment. That's so cool. Now, keep in mind, her parents, she's 19 years old. Her parents have no say. Okay, this is not like the R. Kelly people where their daughters were like 12 and 14. She was already of age. And he was already starting to do the things like where he was positioning himself to be in control without her really noticing. And as you read this, you can kind of see, looking at it all at once, it seems terrible. But like if you're in the moment and you're placing yourself in the moment of how she was experiencing this, I could kind of understand how she could have missed the signs. Now, it does talk about her parents expressing concern. When she showed her parents the apartment that he was renting for her in New York City, they were kind of like, I don't know. But he would get her to tell her parents certain things and say, hey, like, just tell your parents, don't worry about it. I've got you. I'm taking care of you. I'm going to make sure you blow up. You know what I mean? All this stuff, right? So she was like, okay, I'll play along. I'll tell my parents everything's good. Nothing to worry about. Meanwhile, he was essentially grooming her. Okay, so I'm going to skip to page 25 of this document. And I'm sorry I have to scroll, but it's in PDF version, so it's not letting me go any other way, because this is where they talk about the details of what happened. And Soonie, as soon as I finish this, you can jump in. Okay. So there's many instances where they talk about all the abuse. Okay. Some of it, all of it was fueled by drugs and alcohol. Okay. So she endured for over a decade, immense emotional distress. Following her escape from the cycle of abuse and sex trafficking she endured, she struggled with physical and mental manifestations. Oh, wait a minute. What is this? This is not where I meant to go. I'm sorry. Hold on. I skipped around, y'all. My bad. Because I was going to tell you the laws under which she is suing him. Because my question was, why did she wait so long? And that is actually explained here in these documents. Her reasoning for waiting so long. Okay, here we go. My bad. Sorry for the... Okay. What started as a whirlwind of celebrity meetings, drug and alcohol-fueled parties quickly turned frightening and violent. Miss Ventura was exposed to the intense violence that pervaded Mr. Combs' rise to fame. For example, on one occasion, Miss Ventura and Mr. Combs were using drugs together in his home, and one of his security staff barged in and announced that Suge Knight, a longtime rival of Mr. Combs, was spotted at a local diner. This is the instance in which he rushed over to the diner with a gun. Okay, so I'm not going to read that whole story. But at every instance, he would beat Miss Ventura, used his money and power to orchestrate extensive efforts to hide the evidence of his abuse, including hiding her in hotels for days at a time to let her bruises heal. Once at a party with Jay-Z, Mr. Combs beat Miss Ventura repeatedly in an Escalade, including by kicking and hitting her. He forced her out of the vehicle on Fifth Avenue, New York, and she was eventually able to hail a cab and get to her apartment in Manhattan, where she cried in fear, realizing there was no one that she could tell about what had happened at the hands of this incredibly powerful man. Mr. Combs learned that Miss Ventura had spoken to another music manager at a party, and he became enraged. She hoped speaking to his manager would allow her to further her career. and that Mr. Combs would actually be happy for her, but instead he became angry and pulled her out of the club where the party was taking place. Okay, so he goes on to say how he beat her basically mercifully for talking to somebody else. I want to get to the trafficking part. Okay, here we go. So within a few months of beginning a romantic relationship with 40-year-old Mr. Combs, the 22-year-old, by this point she's 22, felt beholden to his whims and demands. While in New York, Mr. Combs told Miss Ventura that he wanted to engage in a fantasy of his called voyeurism. Mr. Combs said it would turn him on if he saw Miss Ventura with, quote, another dick. The first time Miss Combs hired a man and brought the man to his home in Los Angeles. The man, Mr. Combs, and Miss Ventura wore masquerade masks and ingested drugs. Mr. Combs directed Miss Ventura to perform sexual acts with this man while Mr. Combs watched them. He masturbated while he directed Miss Ventura and the man to do specific sexual acts. The entire encounter lasted multiple days. Mr. Combs began to call the arrangement a freak off, or FO. He would repeatedly tell Miss Ventura at random moments that he wanted an FO, and Miss Ventura was eventually expected to facilitate the location and the hiring of male sex workers. I have a theory behind that because some people were like, well, what kind of sex traffic victim gets to facilitate the whole thing? I think she didn't really have a choice in the matter. I think he was doing that for the purposes of not having a trail on his end of that. Okay. At certain points during Miss Ventura and Mr. Combs' relationship, he would insist on an FO weekly. Mr. Combs would repeatedly tell Miss Ventura that this practice was our thing and our secret. FO would often take place in hotel suites, including Trump International Hotel in Columbus Circle, Le Hermitage Beverly Hills, the London Hotel in Los Angeles, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, list all the hotels. On occasions, around 2013, Mr. Combs had an FO set up at the Intercontinental Hotel, after which he was charged with tens of thousands of dollars in damages by the hotel. Upon information and belief, Mr. Combs' chief of staff, Tony Fletcher, paid the invoice charged by the hotel. Eventually, they were instructed to use websites and escort services to find male sex workers to participate in the FOs. Mr. Combs told Miss Ventura to search for large black penises. Sometimes Mr. Combs would pay to fly male sex workers to his location, including to multiple cities in the United States as well as abroad. He required Miss Ventura and his staff to help him make these arrangements. Mr. Combs' assistant would help to set up the FOs, including by setting up hotel suites with baby oil and Astroglide. Mr. Combs always supplied Miss Ventura and the sex workers with copious amounts of drugs before and during the FOs. Miss Ventura was given ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, and alcohol in excessive amounts during the FOs, which allowed her to disassociate during these horrific encounters. It became commonplace for her to get IV fluids in the days after the FOs to recover from the extensive substances pushed upon her. She was required to dress up in lingerie, and Mr. Combs insisted she wear white nail polish to contrast her nails with the skin of the black men he hired to have sex with her. She would also be instructed to pour excessive amounts of oil all over herself. Miss Ventura and the sex worker to speak to Mr. Combs would insist or instruct Miss Ventura and the sex worker to speak to each other, and then would specifically tell her to touch the sex workers. He would say things like, quote, grab that big black dick and ask her, how does it feel? As he directed her to perform for him. Okay. This is what was interesting. He would use his laptop and tablet to film her having sex with the hired sex workers. He treated the forced encounter as a personal art project, adjusting the candles he used for lighting to frame the video. Miss Ventura would quickly delete any photographs or videos of the sex acts if they were taken on her phone, but Mr. Combs repeatedly made it clear that he retained many videos of Miss Ventura during the FOs. Even when she deleted videos, Mr. Combs would tell her that he was able to recover the deleted videos from her device. On one occasion, he sat next to her on a flight and made her watch a video she thought she had deleted, reinforcing her inability to escape and the immense power he had over her. I'm not going to continue to read all of this, but it goes on to say that he had access to her medical records. So when she would go to a doctor for a cold or a pap smear or whatever, the results of the labs of anything would come straight to him. She did not see her medical information. I mean, yeah, obviously that all needed to be directed by her in the initial, instances of whatever, paperwork she filled out. But he was aware of everything she did when she did it. Okay. So many have asked, how is she suing him? Why is she suing him now? Why is she waiting? Well, this is what I found super interesting about this. Is it cites in here 143. So although Miss Ventura was unable to speak up against the years of abuse she endured at the hands of Mr. Combs, she has since been able to rebuild her life and confront her trauma. Thanks to the passage of New York's Adult Survivor Act and California's Sexual Abuse Accountability and Cover-Up Act, she is now ready and able to also confront her abuser. So that act is basically, I'm going to look at the New York one because I want you guys to see, because this is the last thing I'm going to say. Okay. I want you guys to see something because I thought that this was extremely interesting. So the New York Adult Survivor Act is a New York state legislation enacted in May of 2022, very recently, which amended state law to allow alleged victims of sexual offense for which the statute of limitations has elapsed to file civil suit. Okay. Here's the interesting thing about it is it expires November 24th. Okay. Not only is that interesting in this case, this explains why she's doing it now. This is the last chance she's going to get. But who else is being tried in the state of New York? Trump. Okay. How interesting that this little amendment was made in May of 2022 and it's expiring now that they've got his ass in court. I'm just saying. Soonie, take it away, sis.
Yeah, I think this entire lawsuit is it's frivolous.
You think?
Yeah, it's all he said, she said. She's provided no proof that any of these things happened. She continued to do work with him even after he forced himself on her before giving her funds. She continued to do what he asked her to do. And she states this all throughout this lawsuit because she wanted a career.
Mm-hmm.
So, ma'am,
Yeah.
you were 19. You stayed through all these things.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't read not one instance where he held a gun to your head and said, sign this contract.
Right.
He heard your song. He approached you. In one of the stories she told, she's like, he faked a promotional flyer for me so that I would have an excuse to leave to go to Florida with him. You could have said no. When did he force you to do any of these things? Well, I was worried about my career.
Or her career. Mm-hmm.
So, like, is your career worth more than yourself? You're willing, this is how I hear it. You were willing to subject yourself to years of abuse because you got money out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You were willing to take all of his generosity, buying you cars, apartments, and everything else in exchange for a career. It sounds like you made a deal with the devil. You don't get to go and have buyer's remorse and say, I want 30 million from you, even though you willingly participated in every single instance that you told.
Yeah. So I'm going to say, I agree with you. Like when I said I was like going to give this like a thorough examination, it's not for the purpose of giving her any sympathy by any means. It was more so to say, okay, are these allegations valid? Which, yes, I do think the allegations are valid. Do I think she should? Unfortunately, I mean, I know people who are like, oh, the victim, she's the victim, and she was not. Listen, y'all are for people chopping off their penises at age 9. Okay. If you think people can make that decision at age 9, at 19, she surely could have known this probably wasn't the best move she could have been making. But it just goes to show how desperate when you are a artist trying to make it in this industry and somebody like P. Diddy comes up to you and starts saying all this stuff to you and offering you all this stuff. And I'm going to control this. I'm going to control that. That it gets to a point where like, the yeses that you're giving spin out of control And it's like, where do I stop? Right. You're 100% you're 100% right, Soonie. She's responsible. Doesn't mean that she deserved all the stuff that happened to her. But this is a warning tale. This I don't think she deserved it. I don't think she
just means an earned outcome. That's all it means. Did you earn this outcome? It looks like you did when you took his generosity in exchange for your career. So yeah, you earned everything you got. Or else, how did you end up in this situation? I just want to call attention to the time frame this all happened in. And I want to call attention to a major domestic violence situation that happened in the same year. And there were videos and pictures of this particular woman all over the internet. Rihanna got beat the fuck up by Chris Brown in 2009. There was video of her and Chris Brown arguing at a gas station. So you got kicked out of a car and he beat the shit out of you and no one saw him do this to you in the middle of Manhattan? You got Will Smith's assistant coming out on Tasha K telling all his salacious stories.
Right.
And not one woman has ever accused him of this.
Who, Diddy?
What woman has accused him of sexual assault?
Oh, sexual assault. No, but well, there's the other girl. I think there was some other girl that came out just recently because of this situation. Sexual assault, no. But what about all the other weird shit that people say about him?
Look, if you want me on the homo stuff, I got you on homo stuff because Jamie Foxx came out and said it. He likes fingers in the booty, bro. They've already exposed that he has these weird parties. That is a known fact about him.
Right.
But all this like abuse, this is what I think happened. Okay. This is what women go through. Swear to God. It's called an identity crisis. Women have what's called this sexual assault epiphany. They get in these shitty relationships. They hate the shitty relationships, right? And they sit down and you can have this moment with your girls. You can have this moment with your counselor and y'all get to chit chatting about how horrible your exes were. And you start talking about your experiences. And one of your friends says, girl, that sounds like sexual assault to me. Are you sure he didn't do this? Like, are you sure? Did you consent? Did you do this? And you know what it sounds like? You just had diarrhea of the mouth and memory and you spilled it all out in a lawsuit and said he did this to me. I'm sorry, but I'm really sick and tired of women accusing men of SA with no proof. And you wait years later to want to do something.
Yeah. That is very sus when they do that. Yeah. And I had said that really takes away from the validity, right? When you wait, it really takes away from the validity. But I just like in this particular, and this has nothing to do with Cassie, but in this particular situation, I'm just like, okay, Cassie's one. Then, you know, all the stuff that we've heard, the gay parties, which it's not illegal to be gay, right? That's not a crime to be gay. It's not a crime to have weird kinks. Okay. But then you add in, did he kill Tupac? Did he kill Biggie? Did he kill Kim Porter, his ex-wife? Right. Which that whole story is another sus story because if you recall, she was about to write a tell-all book about him. And then all of a sudden she dies of pneumonia, right? Now, the doctor that told everybody that the autopsy revealed she had pneumonia was the second coroner because the first one that said, no, there's something weird. She's ingested some type of metals. That guy dies. Mysteriously, he dies after he comes out and says that. And then they had to bring a second coroner and he was like, no, it's pneumonia. It's pneumonia. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. And then you start looking at the guest list of this white party girl.
Maybe he did kill his ex-wife. I don't know. Maybe he did. Diddy is suspect in a lot of different ways.
A lot of shit.
Not gonna take that. I'm not gonna act like he's not. But I'm also not a fool. You're asking for 30 mil, honey. You already got a lot out of the deal.
Yeah.
You're Cassie. You're a model. You can go recoup everything you lost. Instead of just going to heal, you are looking for compensation to, I guess, help your healing. If you're going through counseling, then go through counseling, bro. What does the 30 million do? The man is free to do this to other women. if this is indeed what you're doing, like if you're doing this to bring awareness and you want to tell your story, write a fucking book, go to counseling and sit down somewhere. Women are always looking for some form of compensation. 30 million.
That's
what
a lot.
is that gonna do for you?
Well, I'm just like, how do they even come to that figure? How do they even come to that? 30 million is a lot of money. Like, I know
You didn't report none of this to the authorities. Wait a minute.
Oh,
so I'm sorry. You got away to get married to the husband you have now, but you couldn't escape him while he's being generous. Is nobody's. I hope to see other people talk about this because I want to see if other people are going to be like, bro, this story makes zero sense.
Yeah,
you're finally able to escape.
Yeah.
What was stopping you from escaping besides you being worried about your non-existent career that you really didn't have because you can't sing? The only song we know from Cassie is Me and You and the song she's got with Ryan Leslie, bro. Who was checking for Cassie outside of that? Cassie was hot when I was a teenager and in middle school, and she has ceased to exist ever since then.
Yeah, I think she did a movie with Terrence J. I can't remember the name of it. And then she did a movie with Lauren London.
Come on, Meryl.
Yeah. But you know what though? Okay, listen, your logic makes a hell of a lot of sense, but Mo is deeply entrenched in Hollywood, okay? I'm deeply entrenched. I mean, when I start to really dissect, like, let's just take Terrence J for instance, okay? Everybody thinks, who the fuck Terrence J? Like, who cares? Terrence J is like a journalist, a Hollywood news reporter, whatever. He's in the movies. Okay, a lot of people don't realize Terrence J actually started on the Kardashians. He was Khloe Kardashian's co-anchor on her radio show, whatever the show was when they were in Miami. Okay, her and Terrence J made out. Seemingly enough, after that, Terrence, his career took off. Okay, after that, which was interesting to me. Terrence had to have a talk per Cassie with P. Diddy before he could have the sex scenes in the movie that they had together. And, you know, I don't know. Like, I just look at that. I look at connections. You know, I look at the J-Lo situation. Remember, they were in an altercation and were arrested together after there was a shootout at a club. You know, J-Lo has been noticeably like very distant from him, although she does go to his white parties. Like, I kind of feel like some of these people that come out and speak out against him, you still see them at the freaking white party. Like, are they forced to go? Like, are they sex slaves? Are they trafficked? Look, what's going on?
Guys, this was in 2009, bro. There was pictures of this girl because she went and reported her abuse. She is clearly a woman. I'm just going to say it. Rihanna was clearly a woman who was experiencing abuse. She was also giving the abuse. Let's not paint her as a victim in all this. In this instance, she got beat the crap up. He got pissed off. But she went to the freaking authorities and told, and he received repercussions for, like, he faced consequences for what he did. You don't get to come out years later, over how many years? This is 2009, damn near almost 20 years later, close to 20 years. You come out and talk about this. A lot of people, that to me, this sounds like Bill Cosby. This sounds like what's the actress? Not the actress, but the model.
Janice Dickinson.
You come out, I don't know how many years later, and you say, "Oh, he did all these things to me." I just can't, bro. I can't.
But you know what?
Okay, sorry, Cassie.
Listen, here's again, Cassie aside. Here's another point I'm going to make. Wendy Williams. Okay.
Oh Lord.
Wendy Williams. Okay. She had a tiff with Diddy. Okay. Like, because she called him out on some weird shit. Later, they somehow made up. Okay. But then something else happened. And shortly after that, her career went down the drain. Now, it was all painted that, you know, she had a mental breakdown due to her divorce with Kevin and blah, 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 blah. And that was like her downfall. But in all reality, it had to do with a little tiff that her and Diddy had. And as y'all know, Diddy runs New York. He runs LA. He has said it himself. I run New York. I run LA. I'm the king of Miami, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Even the NYPD came out and said, oh no, there's no like record of any type of abuse in the situations that they're talking about. And everybody's like, see, the NYPD. Since when do we believe the NYPD isn't corrupt? Okay. They're the most corrupt. Thank you. Okay, so don't use them as an excuse to say that this didn't happen because the NYPD said. No, thank you. Okay. All I'm saying is this, Cassie, girl, talk to your daughter and make sure that they don't do stupid shit like this. I'm glad you're bringing this up, okay, and letting us all see the tea, honey. But I agree with Soonie. You reaped what you sowed. You know, not that you deserve all this other stuff, but like, this is what happens when you sell your soul to the devil. Okay,
This
is
bruh.
this is what happens.
Listen, Cassie, we all saw who Diddy was during making the band. Okay,
Mhm.
I can show this clip. Somebody remixed it and did a bunch of jazz to it. Cassie knew who Diddy was. Look at this clip.
Especially with a like you, when I
Pause
help
it
get past that
continuously.
situation,
Not
you looking at me in my face telling me you ain't gonna do something. I can see if I told you to go rob a bank. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing some, I'm gonna go get some cheesecake. You got that much ego? Go do your thing, man. Don't sit here and be talking about it, man. Be fly about it. Get your swag on, walk that way. If it's that way, do it. If you want to think about it, or if you ain't gonna walk that way, walk to Brooklyn and be happy about it.
how many of those guys you think suck? How many of those guys you think got on all fours for Diddy?
Look, the reason I'm playing that is he told them to go walk to go get him some cheesecake smack dead in the middle of freaking winter.
Yeah.
And if you wasn't gonna do it, you ain't getting no contract. It's that simple. They chose to go walk to get a grown man cheesecake for a failed career that went nowhere. Where are all those rappers? Babs is doing corny ass podcast garage shows. I don't even know where the hell Ness is at. Where Dylan? Don't nobody know where Dylan is. What's his name? The one from Louisiana. Chopper. We ain't heard from Chopper in I don't know how long.
Right.
They went to go get some cheesecake for a career. Cassie knew what she was getting into. We all watched Making the Band. Everything he touches turns to shit. Once he's done benefiting from it, your career goes bye-bye. So I don't feel sorry for her. I don't think you got. I think you thought it was going to be different for you, and you played yourself. Ain't no way. You gonna tell me to walk for some cheesecake for a contract?
Listen,
and then try to make it seem like it's about you checking my ego? No, sir. Nope.
I'm just gonna leave this one last point. I think there were like 5 original members of Bad Boy, the founders. Only 2 of them are alive. Kim Porter was one of them. What was it? Was it Big Pun was one of them?
Big Pun? No, that's Terror Squad.
No, dude. I'm talking about the original. Hold up. Let me see. I'm talking about the original founders.
Big Pun.
No, for real. It wasn't Big Pun. It was Heavy D. The other fat dude. Heavy D was one of the original founders of Bad Boy. Heavy D, Kim Porter, Diddy's the only one that's alive. I think there's only 2 of them that are alive. One of them went off to be like a pastor or something like that. That's the only reason he went to the Lord, honey. He wouldn't even come back. He wouldn't even come back for like the reunion, the Bad Boy reunion show they did. He was like, nope, you ain't even getting me for one segment. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. Just look at everybody who's connected to Diddy. Damn near all of them are dead. Or their careers are over. Mace, he's another one. He went to he went to go
grift with the church.
Yeah.
He knew that was another grift. That's what he did. Hey, man. I can't wait to see what comes from this case, which will be absolutely nothing. She will just have her flash in the pan of her being back into the limelight. She is probably going to write a book and do a shit ton of interviews after this, but 30 mil, I don't see happening. Ain't gonna happen. You should have never sold out, and you should have kept your dignity. We need to push that to women. Money is not everything. Promise you it's not. You had 3 singles, Cassie. Damn, you weren't even like an international star.
No.
Like,
I don't even think she did like a tour. She didn't do like a tour.
Just please go read it. When I was reading this, I said, this does not equal your career. You did all this for what career? Blink, it was over.
Poor thing.
I like
Hold
her
on,
music.
y'all.
I'm not even gonna count. Like, I like her music. Okay, I listen. I don't listen to albums. I'm not gonna lie to you. I listen to a few of her singles. But you tripping?
Here's the link, y'all. I'll put it in the description box, but don't you dare leave this damn show to go read this. Y'all are nosy. Don't be nosy.
Don't you
Okay?
dare leave this show.
Don't you dare leave the show to read that document. You got all day tomorrow to read it. You can read it before Thanksgiving. Okay.
You know who they need? You know who they need to investigate?
Who?
It's Trey Songz. All right. You want to accuse somebody of SA? Please. He out here pulling women's bras down, exposing boobs, thinking it's funny. Go after him. Keke Palmer also accused Trey Songz, by the way, of making her feel uncomfortable.
You know, can we listen? Can we just let me just say this? No, I'm not going to boycott Diddy songs. Okay. Learn to separate the two. Diddy got some fire bops. Okay. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I still listen to R. Kelly. I still watch The Cosby Show. And I'm still going to rock Diddy.
His new music is garbage. I listened to the album and I was Carisha messed you up, Diddy. You need to go back to what was working.
Miami, hunt.
Listen, this ain't working.
Young Miami is a whole nother thing. Okay. He's dating her now.
She gonna come out with a tell-all. Listen, you know what? Let me just say this. Let me say this. If her ghetto ass don't come out screaming like a canary, I don't believe shit Cassie's saying.
First of all, wait a minute. She's not going to come out and sing like a canary, okay? She's over there getting paid. Because she's over there getting paid. She's in the process of building her. No.
She's different.
First
they
of all,
built different. She gonna come out and fight.
No,
they gonna come out and fight. I'm telling you, bro.
Not before she sucks him dry for every last penny he has.
She don't need Diddy. She got QC. She got Revolt. She got Carisha, please.
No,
bro.
Listen.
You know what's gonna happen? We gonna see a video of them getting it in.
Isn't she part of the City Girls? She's part of the City Girls, right? Okay. Listen, she's that should tell you right now. I was watching a live with those two, and she talked about how Diddy took her to his private island. Hello, he has a private island named Love Island. You know, when we sit here and think to ourselves, how stupid can you be? Okay, to do the shit that Cassie did for him, and I'm sure Young Miami doing even worse shit for him. You guys, let me just tell you, the other day I was watching one of these trashy podcasts where all women, right? Ghetto ass women. And this girl asked this one lady, she was a rapper. She was like, is there a price tag on anything you won't do? And she was like, shit, I'll let a MF or shit on me for a price. And I was like, you know what? You are so nasty. Okay. So no, I don't have any faith in Carisha. Okay.
I do.
Because Carisha's probably getting a dump on her right now for a stack.
And getting beat on is two different things. She's a hood bitch, bro. They not gonna take you putting your hands on them. They're gonna fight back. We gonna if this is indeed happening, we're going to see Diddy with a black eye, a busted lip, or something going on with his face. Telling you,
no, because
she's scratching. She going down with a fight.
But I think
ain't letting him get out of this free.
No, but I think that she's handling it different than Cassie. Okay. Cassie is she was like a square little thing. Okay. She was real square and innocent and green. Carisha's from around the way. Okay. You know, Carisha is not fighting Diddy. You know, Diddy's like, oh, go get male escorts and I want to watch you with them. Cool. Done. Okay. But she's probably doing everything.
But the second he hits her, all bets are off. I'm telling you.
When the time is right, I'm sure. Yeah, she's probably gonna.
She's gonna fuck his shit up.
And then you better have the same energy because I'm gonna be like, I know she was doing all this shit before.
What? I'm not saying that she not doing nothing strange for a piece of change. Okay, I think she is doing something strange for a piece of change. But this kicking you in the face and stomping you out and you being stashed somewhere in Hawaii and ain't nobody got no pictures of you appearing in Hawaii. He's not the fucking president. He got the CIA attached to him, hiding your every movement. I'm not buying it.
Mm. I put a little trap out there for people when I posted like that little segment that he stayed at the Trump Hotel because I was just waiting for some idiot to be like, "Oh, he stayed at the Trump." People, just because he stayed at the Trump Hotel doesn't mean Trump co-signed on any of the bullshit. Okay,
She can't help, bro. You Trumpers are something else. You have related 2 topics to Trump in the past hour and 48 minutes.
I'm just saying. And I will say this too.
What?
Trump once called Diddy a fantastic young man. He's out here getting it. You can find video of it. I'm surprised people haven't brought that up. I'm surprised they haven't brought it up. The video is grainy as hell because it's so old. It was back when Trump was a Democrat. I'm sure you're going to find a video or a picture of Trump at the white party. I'm sure.
Trump is still a Democrat. He's just a moderate, just like you.
Just like
You're
me.
a classic liberal.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
What? I'm a classic liberal.
Yeah,
Oh, a classic liberal. Yes. I'm not a classic liberal. That's you're going a little too far.
Why not?
Watch
Why?
it. Watch it.
Why?
Just watch it.
JFK
Just
was
say,
a classic liberal.
don't use the L word on me, okay? Even if you put classic.
Damn, I can't
You
even
can
use
say-
words in its correct form no more.
You can say moderate, okay? I'm okay
I
with
can say
moderate. Yeah, but don't be like liberal because people are going to take that and run with it.
I'm fine. All right. You got it. Cassie had that epiphany when she was sitting around the fire. Cassie had a waiting to exhale moment. That's all that happened. They was sitting around the fire getting drunk, drinking that box wine.
When you purse your lips, getting drunk,
drinking that box wine, and they was in their fields, and she said, "I'm about to go sub and file a lawsuit. He owes me 30 mil. I'm telling you."
You think somebody
here's
pulled her
another
aside in the
avenue.
kitchen?
I do.
And they were
I think her counselor or her girls got to her, and
they
I
whispered.
think Diddy probably did her dirty with them contracts and collected all the funds. And now she's like, "Okay, I think you sexually assaulted me. I'm probably just gonna make up allegations of you kicking me in my face and sending me to Hawaii, and then I'm gonna get this 30 million that you owed me because I signed some bogus ass contracts." I done put the case together.
Do you think Ruby Freeman got to her?
Oh my
She was
gosh!
like-
Listen.
How'd it go? Ruby was at the party, right? And they were in the kitchen. And Ruby pulled her aside.
Said, "Listen, shh, don't tell nobody. May the Lord bless you real good. But did he touch you? Are you sure? Did you get all your coin? I don't think you got all your coin. I'm gonna come back and check on you at 7 o'clock.
Ruby is everywhere.
She's everywhere.
Everywhere.
She said, "Shh, don't tell nobody."
Y'all,
You broke the first rule. She said, "Shh, don't tell nobody." You broke it.
y'all better listen, set a place for Ruby at your Thanksgiving table because she will show. Okay, Ruby. You know, when people say
I want to
you
have
don't,
Ruby over for Ruby. Probably makes some fire ass banana pudding.
I bet you she does. I bet you Ruby's Thanksgiving is set up real good.
Ooh, I'm trying
Set
to
up
go to
real
Ruby
good.
house. I'm hungry.
That's your character on the show. You know how I've done Linda and I've done other things? Ruby's your
That's
character.
my
People love,
character.
people love when you do Ruby because you got it down.
She said, "May God bless you real good."
Dude, I love it. I love like sometimes Soonie, like she'll call me like, well, in the beginning, she used to call me in the Ruby voice.
Or I was sending voice chats.
Yeah, that would crack me up.
Shh, don't tell nobody. Oh,
Hey,
man.
what's that service that like Loza and like MAGA, what's his name? MAGA Jackson would use to
Cameo.
you should set up a cameo for Ruby.
Man, Ruby might come after me. I don't got time for no
You could
No,
do happy
what you
birthday
call 'em?
messages.
I don't got time for no lawsuits now. I gotta get out here about 7 o'clock.
Oh
This
God.
is dumb.
All right. Let's talk about Snoop Diggity Dog.
God. Why is
Snoop
this
Diggity Dog.
news? I'm not
Because
just not towards you, but like, why is this news? Why do we care that he's listen? Soonie didn't stop. I didn't put the smoke down. I hit the smoke right before I came on the show. Breaking news. But is it because now look, I get the optics of it. Let's encourage young people to put the weed down. You know,
Mhm.
it could cause long-term health effects. It can mess up your lungs. It's somehow possibly being linked to early stages of dementia.
Mm.
I understand that. But he's not getting rid of marijuana in his system. You just said it. He might not smoke no more, but I bet you money he got can of butter, he got can of
Mhm.
syrup, he got drops. I bet
Sorry.
you I bet you he gonna put vanilla cannabis in his yams. Like he ain't getting rid of cannabis. I don't think he is.
Listen.
I actually agree with you.
Well, let's read the statement that he made, and you guys
Okay.
let us know what you think. Now, this is what I found quite comical. Is he said, "My, me and my family are asking for privacy. Please respect your like." It was almost like if he
Bro, what
announced it. It was like if he announced like a death. I mean, like, when you think about it, Snoop Dogg is synonymous with smoking weed. Anyways, he said, after much consideration, this is so serious. Like after much consideration and conversation with my family, I've decided to give up smoke. Snoop wrote in a message which he shared on Instagram and X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, on Thursday. Please respect my privacy at this time. Now, he didn't specify why he gave it up. This is the exact article that I'm looking at. He didn't specify why he gave it up, but his fans have been speculating that he could be sick with cancer or something going on that caused him to want to stop smoking. So, like I said, it's starting a whole a chain of people going like, "Damn! Like now that Snoop is stopping, I must stop."
I hope the people who want to stop really put it down. But I just don't know why we give a fuck. The border is not secure. Okay, it costs $10 to buy potatoes. It's $5 to buy a tub of butter that used to cost $2.50. I don't care
Yeah.
about this fool not smoking no more. We just sent $14.3 billion to Israel for them to fight in this fake conflict. I can't say what I want to say.
Well,
But
now that you put it
damn.
like that, I mean, now that you put it like that, I feel like, yeah, like this is so insignificant. But I mean, we had to have a little bit of fun news.
No, not for the show. We're supposed to drop commentary on it. I am
Yeah.
mainly making fun of the new, like, why the F did Microsoft start via the AP News press? I mean, the Associated Press. What? Why? Why?
Mm,
Who cares? I
yeah.
get why we're talking about it. We're commentators. We're always going to voice our opinions on it. But y'all, like, come on, dog. I don't get it.
The question is, will he be the same after, he stops that?
You don't think
Like,
he will?
well, I think he'll be the same only because he's been smoking for so long. I think it'll
Mhm.
take the entire rest of his life to get it out of his system completely. You know what I mean? He smoked weed
Mm,
all day, every day.
I see. Listen, Martha Stewart is canceling y'all's bingo card for Thanksgiving this year. That's breaking news. I just wanted to bring that up to y'all so y'all know there will be no Martha bingo cards this year. And she says she's turkeyed out. She don't want to host Thanksgiving dinner no more. And Mo's gone. But I'm up here by myself and we're gonna keep it rocking until she get back. I hope Snoop Dogg indeed kicks the habit. If this is really what he's wanting to do, I hope he kicks the habit. Okay. And I wish him the best. I swear I do. But I don't understand why we care about this. The news is playing right in our face. While she is, I don't know, her computer shut down. I'll wait for her to message me. But while we're waiting for her to come back. Oh, she's back. Welcome back. Oh, never mind. Wait, you are back. What
I'm
happened?
I don't know. Something happened.
Hmm.
Something happened.
Something happened.
Anyways, what else should we talk about? We got the following topics left over: Budlight, Dylan Mulvaney PR stunt, and
Oh
Michael.
yeah, I want to hear about that.
Didn't you have also some topics? You want to do any of your topics?
We could talk about Breonna Taylor if you want to bring that up.
Yes, let's talk about Breonna Taylor.
Breonna Taylor, the judge declares. Here we go. I'm gonna pull this up. The judge declares mistrial in case of ex-officer who fired into Breonna Taylor's apartment. A federal jury failed to reach a verdict in a civil rights trial of former Louisville police officer connected to the 2020 death of Breonna Taylor, leading a judge to declare a mistrial. U.S. District Judge Rebecca Grady Jennings declared the mistrial Thursday after jurors cannot reach a verdict on 2 counts of deprivation of rights against Brett Hankinson. Now, if you guys don't remember, Brett Hankinson is the officer that I talked about earlier, who was charged at a state level, with wanton endangerment, which means he fired his weapon in a very unsafe manner and a bullet ended up in a neighbor's home.
Yeah.
And I think the neighbor said it was 2 inches away from possibly hitting her. So clearly he put people in danger, but he was shooting in defense of the other officers who had been fired upon by Keith Walker.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't stick at a state level, so they went to the federal level and tried to get him on civil rights violation. And again, the case was nobody can offer a fair verdict on this because
he was doing his job, kind of, I guess.
Exactly. I get it. Like when someone's doing their job and that happens, I don't think that there should be a consequence for that because shit happens. You can't control that.
Well, and I don't know what the wording is or even if you have it, but like I'm assuming the whole thing that the jury has to do is prove intent to be recklessly endangering people, which
it doesn't
I don't
say.
Okay, because that's always hard to prove intent. You know, I mean, he's there. He's called to do a job. Yes, he was outside. I believe he was outside shooting through like
a window,
the back window, the back sliding window or whatever.
The sliding door. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he was doing his job, but like, how do you possibly prove intent of malice unless he was like bragging on the way home, like, man, I just want to shoot somebody. You know what I mean? Like, I hope tonight somebody dies.
Well, here we have it right here. Prosecutors had accused Hankinson of using excessive force while his defense team argued that the former LMPD detective's actions were justified based on his perception that he was saving his fellow officers' lives. Like you said, intent.
Mm-hmm.
To me, this is just I would say it's another form of virtue signaling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the prosecution is stupid enough to think that they can take this to a federal court and not be able to prove intent. I think that this is I think it's political, to be honest with you. We got an election coming up. George Floyd happened. Not a lot of people on the left spoke out on that because it proved their ridiculous narrative wrong. And now you have Derek Chauvin, who is going to be appealing his case due to the new information that has come out. I still think the way he handled it is shitty, but going to jail for taking someone's life that you didn't take, that's not justice.
Right.
At all. It's not justice.
Was in the Chauvin case, I thought when his thing was delivered, like his not his verdict was delivered, that it was without prejudice, meaning like you can't appeal,
you can't bring it back.
Right. So how does that work?
I don't know. See, that's something that I do want to kind of get into.
Mm-hmm.
And we could talk about it on the next show. I didn't want to talk about George Floyd when everybody else was.
Yeah.
I really didn't.
I will tell you though, this picture you have up, okay, this is probably one of the most annoying Black Lives Matter campaign, even more annoying than George Floyd, you know? Like I could tolerate George Floyd. This one really just got under my skin.
Trust me, I'm right there with you. This one did get under my skin. Even in this article, they state that she was laying in her bed, which she was not. She was in the hallway. They heard someone, they went and checked on it, and someone was busting in her house and he shot. No, it's unfortunate what happened to her. It really is. I don't think anyone on planet Earth is saying that she deserved to be shot that day. because I don't think she did. She didn't earn this outcome, especially when police officers. I'm going to be honest. She didn't earn this outcome because, and specifically, an ex-officer pled guilty to helping falsify the search warrant. Had she not falsified the search warrant, nobody would be at her house to begin with, because they didn't have proof that there was packages coming there. They falsified the documents in order to get the search warrant.
But
that's
you know
a
what?
major thing.
You know what though, Soonie? I can guarantee you a search warrant will never be falsified against me because I don't run in the streets. Okay. And when you look at the history that was documented on this girl, from the calls, the dead body that was found in the car that she rented. She wasn't driving the car, but it was under her name. You know, the packages that were being sent to her house that were drugs and all this other stuff. All that stuff was real. That was legit. Okay. So similar to the reasoning with the Cassie thing, which I fully agree with, is this was the world you lived in. Nobody forced you to do this. You willingly participated in a lifestyle that, you know, incorporated not so good people and not so good activities. So not that you deserve to die, but I feel like that was the outcome of, would you say? How'd you say it? What was
What?
You said a real snappy phrase. Just
What? I don't believe she earned the outcome.
earn the outcome. Yeah.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. When you involve yourself in a certain world, you invite certain things like police raids. But I can't ignore officers not doing their job in a correct manner and falsifying documents. Can't do that.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with this. I don't think it's going to do anything besides stay in the media, and just people are going to commentate on it and say that it's white supremacy. That's all I see coming from this topic. I don't know how else people could argue this. I don't know why else people would want to argue this, but unfortunately, she's no longer here. Her family did receive, I want to say, $12 million in compensation from the city or the state. I'm sorry. Daniel Cameron came out with the ballistics. They were firing back because they were fired upon. So nobody can go to jail because murder didn't happen there. They didn't intentionally kill this girl. So rest in peace. Condolences to her family. But this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, they already lost their jobs. They've lost their reputations.
Yeah.
What more do you want?
Well, like you said at the beginning of the show, it's very curious that this and the shot and the George Floyd thing with the cause of death on, you know, whatever, the autopsy is resurfacing. And again, that's another thing that's going to result in, well, this was overturned because of white supremacy, right? I think that's probably why these things are coming up at a very oddly timely, you know, moment, because, you know, elections and it's funny. You can't hate on some people, but man, white people, free game all day. And FYI, Jewish people don't consider themselves white. So
no, they don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
They are different.
They different.
They different.
Speaking of, you know, people losing their lives in crazy manners, CNN is getting called out by the Fox News for having to switch a headline. Now,
who? CNN?
CNN.
Oh, okay.
I think Fox News is grasping at some sort of straws, putting this out. And it's almost like the nerve of you bastards to even try to come at CNN when you proposed a fictitious story about Dominion. Now, we won't get into the particulars, but y'all had a whole ass lawsuit that you had to settle on, and half of your anchors were quoted knowingly
texting,
putting out false information, texting, all of it. Sitting on TV shows, inviting the folks on. So that's what caught my attention. But what caught my attention even more is they are now charging the guy who, sorry, I have to move this. There was a protester who just so happened to be Jewish. that was outside of Los Angeles protesting for Israel. There's
Mhm.
also counter protesters who were protesting in support of Palestine. Now, allegedly, they get into some sort of altercation. He allegedly bops the Israeli, and when I say he, I'm talking about the Palestinian protester, bops the Israeli protester in the face, causing him to fall down and bump his head. He's now being charged with involuntary manslaughter because allegedly his actions caused his death. Now, there is no video of him getting bopped in the face. I have looked all over the internet. So I guess my question to this is, how are you charging someone when you have no proof outside of witnesses saying that he hit him in the face or that this particular action took place caused him to die? Because they're saying he died from blunt force trauma, like he had something going on with his head. Brain hemorrhaging, I'm sorry.
At this particular point, with everything I have seen in this whole situation, with fabricated videos, fabricated pictures, I don't know to even believe that these two individuals aren't paid actors and one was, took a hit. I don't even, I mean, at this point, that's where my mind goes when I think about this stuff. Because the fact that we're literally coming to this conclusion with no facts, no video, like I want to see the autopsy report that says without a doubt it was this hit that caused it, not the fact that he was 80 something years old,
69,
whatever, again, at a protest. Who knows? Did he say something? I don't know. Did he deserve to get popped? I don't know. There's a whole lot of missing things here.
For sure.
Whole lot of missing things. Do you have the video? Can we play it or no? Is it too?
I have. It's only 3 seconds. This is literally all we have. Now, if you look at his face, hold on, let me zoom this in. If you look at his face, he's clearly got blood coming from his nose. Something happened between them, but they are saying without a shadow of a doubt, the interaction that happened with this gentleman with the blue shirt, with the hat on, blue stripe.
The guy that's bending down to help him?
Yes.
That doesn't seem okay. Wait a minute. If I pop you in the nose, I'm either going to be like, look, I didn't.
And look, there's another Free Palestine protester coming over to check on him. I do not. Weird. It is weird. That's why I wanted to talk about this, because I'm like, Fox News, shut up. No. But when you look at the story, how can someone getting hit? Now, like I said, we don't know what happened, but what I hear them saying is, you push somebody, they fell, hours later they die because of a brain hemorrhage, you're responsible for it. Did he have anything going on before this event? Did the hit in the face, was that the catalyst to his death? What have the coroner said? What caused this brain hemorrhage? Because I don't think there's enough information out to even say that he's guilty for this. Now, I get charging him, right? They're going to charge him until they come up with something. They're going to, because they want to hold him in jail. I watch
Go back.
Shows.
Is there any audio with this?
Let me see.
I mean, the dude that hit him seems to be like, just from his body language that I can see, he looks to be concerned. Like he's like holding kind of his head up. Like that looks like somebody who's like, oh dang, like that doesn't look like the person that hit you. If I would have been like, who hit this dude? The first person I would think is this guy that's standing in front of the camera. Like he's like, I didn't, not the guy that's bed down right next to him trying to see if he's okay. I don't know. Something ain't right with that. Nope.
So this is what's being reported. This is News Nation now, by the way, if you guys want to go look at these things. It says Oswalks and Kessler had attended a rally to express their pro-Israel stance despite being outnumbered by pro-Palestinian demonstrators. Oswalks, I guess this is the witness who was there with Kessler, said the person of interest can be seen in the video sitting on the ledge after the incident. I'm sorry. The guy on the ground,
okay.
that's my fault. The picture, there's a picture, I got that mixed up. So the guy who's responsible for the incident is sitting on the ledge in front of this sign here, and I'll show that, but I
Okay.
want to read this first. He observed the person of interest hit Paul Kessler with the megaphone, knocking him to the ground. I saw the white megaphone come across. I saw a red mouthpiece for the megaphone, and I could see that the lanyard was trailing, said the witness. As I said to John, hey, they're throwing punches over there. Go over there. The man seen in the video is the man seen in the video is the man with the megaphone. Absolutely 100%. There's no question about it. I'll stick to my life on that. Either way it goes, I really don't see how we are assuming guilt here.
I have a still image. Hold on. I have a still image we can share of that.
And he is sitting there. Clearly
There he
he's concerned, in my opinion.
Yeah. So this is the dude right here. They hit him to the right that the police were talking to.
Yeah. That's my mistake, guys.
I was about to say, I was like, I ain't never hit nobody that assaulted you. And then was like, are you okay?
Even so, though, he's still there. And there's other Palestinian people coming across to make sure he's okay. I don't know. They're trying to make this a anti-J word thing. And I just don't see where it's anti-J word. I think it's two people who got probably into a heated discussion, right? Because they're there. You guys are putting these images and these information out for people to go out and react. And then we have a repeat of this, the summer of love where people are dying left and right. And you got autonomous zones popping up.
Yeah.
That's what I see in all this. I don't think I agree with the charge of involuntary manslaughter. I don't.
I agree with you.
I think they both fucked around and found out.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like two old men, right? Two old men got into an altercation. And unfortunately, the other guy, I don't know,
Yeah.
I mean, that's sad. It's sad.
They tried to charge him with a hate crime. See?
Yeah.
You can't. I'm going to pay attention to this because that headline that drew me in.
Prove it. Because he's at a protest and he's on the other side.
He's on the opposite side.
That proves that it was a hate crime.
Come on.
I could be at a protest. That doesn't mean that I hate you. Oh, Lord.
Are you sure?
Make it make sense.
Like,
make it make sense. No, I'm kidding. Listen, I've been at the BLM protest, honey, and I'm like, you're stupid as all get out. I don't hate you.
Well, I have one last topic. Okay. I got to get my baby girl to this birthday party. I have one last topic, and this is an awesome topic. This is a great way to end the show. COVID was the time. It's like, what a time to be alive. That's how I feel about COVID and a lot of these other things that are happening. But a former state senator by the name of Dean Tran was arrested for alleged COVID unemployment fraud. Former state senator was arrested Friday morning on federal charges that he fraudulently collected jobless benefits during COVID-19 pandemic and failed to report rental income to the IRS, prosecutors said.
But he's a senator. What? Oh, Lord.
Tran was charged with 25 counts of wire fraud and 3 counts of filing false tax returns, and is slated to make an initial appearance in the U.S. District Court in Boston at 1:30. I'm assuming that was today. He's a former senator. He served as a state senator from 2017 to January 2021. After leaving office, allegedly applied for the pandemic unemployment benefits despite already accepting a job as a paid consultant for a New Hampshire-based automotive parts company. Bro.
Tran. My boy.
Tran.
Trent, what you doing, dude? Come on now.
I want to
Trent-
know if he was a Democrat or a Republican.
Guaranteed. I don't even know. See, I can't even guarantee no
You
shit
don't
no more.
even
'Cause
know.
I
What you
can't even
saying?
guarantee, man. I don't even know because I'm a moderate. I don't know. Wait, what was
You're
his name?
not. He said, I'm a moderate.
What's his name?
Senator Dean Tran. Drum roll, everybody.
Okay, let's take our bets in the comment section. Was he a Democrat?
Drop a D for Democrat. Drop a R for Republican. Which one is he? I know what he is. I know what he is. I just.
Oh, take your bets, people.
Take your bets.
Come on.
I know what it is.
Don't be looking it up. Cold. Make a cold bet. Okay, we got a Republican in the one Republican. Come on now. He's from Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. What do y'all think? Come on, everybody. I see people in here, so I need to hear. Put an R or a D. Was he a Republican or a Democrat? Y'all suck. If y'all don't vote on this right now, I swear. Come on now. Come on now. Okay. Y'all ain't any fun. He's a Republican. Yep. A Republican. Stole money. But he is Asian. I will say he's Vietnamese. I'm not saying Vietnamese people are crooks. I'm just saying they are cheap. Okay. They are cheap. I think our chat must be like hella delayed because I'm just now seeing, or maybe people are listening on the delayed. They're not caught up to where we're at right now. But yes, he is a Republican. Wow. All right. Okay. Got it. Before Soonie comes back, let me show you guys a funny video. Okay. So if y'all ever watched the show Martin, y'all remember Gina, Martin's girlfriend? What's her name in real life? Oh my gosh, it's escaping me. What is her name? What is the real girl's name that played Gina in Martin? Somebody tell me real quick. Anyways, her dad died. Okay. Tell me if this is not the most messed up thing you've heard. Her dad died, and her siblings went to her dad's house to go clean up his stuff. And look at what they found. And they put this on Instagram live. This is crazy. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and play this for y'all.
One to find the bullshit. We going through my dad's shit. Look at this. Look at this bullshit here. Oh my God. Jesus. Jesus Christ. What kind of bullshit is this? Look at this.
Yo, he can start a store right
Yo,
here.
my dad. Yo, check this out. So look at this bullshit.
This is why he wanted to keep
the
his
last
DVD
time
player.
I was here, I said, Dad, let's get rid of this. Why do you even have this? Nobody does DVDs anymore. Nope, you cannot take my DVD player. I want my now we know why, you nasty ass. Look at this. Okay, let's name them. White hoes with bros. Look at this. What's this one? Oh God! Gaping black buttholes.
Oh my.
Hoochie coochie mama. Wait, there's more.
Oh my God.
Dark meat. Yo, this is got to be the one.
Anyways, guys, I looked at that and I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, that's terrible. You died, you lived a great life, and your kids put you out on the internet and all your porn stash out there. Man, I thought that was kind of messed up. They were laughing. I mean, I guess it's their dad. They can do what they want. But I just thought it was a little bit crazy. Let me play the video on Michael Rapaport really quick so you guys can see this. So Michael Rapaport has said he is now going to probably vote for Trump. So here is the video on that.
There's been other things too. There's other times where I'm sure, like, for Dick Stain Donald Trump, who I had conversations with, I might vote for that motherfucker. Oh yeah, I'll break your hearts. Let me tell you something. Things don't get straightened up in this fucking world ASAP. And I know Smoking Joe has said the right thing about Israel. But when I'm seeing motherfuckers in New York City climb in public in front of crowds of people, rip down UN flags, rip down Israeli flags, rip down American flags on Veterans Day, when the economy is the way the economy is, when I'm paying fucking mortgage rates up, I mean, I'm getting, forget a colonoscopy. You don't need to get a colonoscopy. Go buy a house. The interest rates, go buy a car. And I know Smoking Joe has done some things I know. But I'm telling you right now, go buy yourself, go check what it's like to buy a car. Buy a house, the money, the fucking chaos in this country, the chaos around the world. But I'm too far down the Gringo Mandingo. I'm too far down the disruptive warrior rabbit hole to pull back. Now, the comments have been made, I said. I've had conversations with some of if it comes down to Pig Dick Donald Trump and Smoking Joe Biden, I'm sorry. I am sorry. Voting for Pig Dick Donald Trump is on the table. I'm sorry. I'm fucking sorry. I'll still call him Slob Dick Donald Trump, Pig Dick Donald Trump, and all that. But we need to get this whole fucking situation under control.
I apologize for the language on that one, guys. That is, that's how Michael Rapaport is. But yeah, I mean, I think, when people ask me, like, do you really think Trump is going to win? Aside from any cheating or whatever, finagling of whatever they're going to do, I absolutely believe Donald Trump can win just based on what he said. And I get that you guys don't like the messenger, but the truth of the matter is people are sick and tired. Like, they are literally sick and tired of paying the amount of money that they're paying for groceries, the amount of money they're paying for utilities and rent, all this chaos, everything's out of control. It gets to a point where even the most radical of people that have been Democrats since the day they were born are going to say, okay, yeah, enough is enough. Okay, we'll put up with mean tweet Donald Trump to get shit back to normal so that we can have our lives back and travel and do all the stuff that we're used to doing. It's affecting everybody.
Yeah. Sorry. I actually agree. I'm glad all these things are happening. That's all I can keep saying.
See?
I'm happy because hey man, come watch Somewhere in the Middle for accurate information. I don't take sides, neither does Mo. Mo's more feelings.
I do take sides. I do take sides sometimes. I do.
On what?
On various things, but I am open to hearing both sides. I just choose
you take sides on Trump. That's it.
Yeah. Sometimes. But I also criticize him.
Oh, listen. Listen. Sam McCloud.
Oh, speaking of Trump, guys, the new speaker, he's releasing all this new footage from J6. So go check it out as it gets released, because everybody will be sharing the same shit, right? It's only going to reinforce what we already told you once again. But go watch it and please share, tag me in it so I could just be like, yeah, I got this 100 times. Yeah, I'm not interested in the J6 video.
Interesting.
I'm not interested.
Are we all out of topics?
I think so. I think we covered everything.
I'm all out of topics.
Christine loves when you do it. Christine loves when you do
what?
Ruby.
Don't tell nobody. Listen, don't tell nobody. I got to go take my daughter's birthday party before Sam I'm a taxi cab. I've just accepted my title. I'm an Uber driver and a taxi cab. And that's all I'm used for nowadays. Mom, can you take me to this party? Mom, can you take me to practice? Mom, can we go to the store? I need a water bottle. I'm hungry.
Enjoy it.
I need.
You know what?
I'm going to enjoy
Soonie?
it. I actually love it. It's great.
Take it from a mom whose kids don't need her as much as they used to anymore. Enjoy it, because you're going to be crying when they're not calling your name anymore. I know it sounds like everybody will tell you like, oh, it's so great. But in the beginning, when you start to get weaned off of that, oh, it's so hard.
I was at the ATM last night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you'll be the ATM.
I'm already the
Yay.
ATM.
Another great show.
Another great show. Actually, somebody DM'd me and was like, dude, I really like your show. Thanks for inviting me and reminding me.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
make sure you guys come back Tuesday for more discussions on what's going on in politics. I want to talk more about Vivek Ramaswamy and the WHO World Leader title. I don't think this is something that's widely talked about in regards to him. And I think, myself included, jumped the gun and ran with very limited information. So I'm going to be calling myself out on Tuesday. We're talking about Vivek. It won't be the entire show, but I think it's important to come out and correct yourself when you're wrong, and publicly, because I run my mouth publicly.
Do we have a show? Are we going to do a show Friday, considering a lot of people are going to be Thanksgiving it up?
No, I think we should all take a break. Everybody enjoy their families.
Okay.
You know, you're going to be cooking. I'm going to be back and forth over here. I have to do Christmas shopping. And there's a lot of sports activities going on around that time too. So
okay. So no show on Friday, but we will have a show on
Friday.
Tuesday. Okay. Cool.
We'll see you guys then.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
They say the song's so offensive, but only if you get offended. I can't offend you without your permission, and you don't even have to listen. They say the song's so offensive, but only if you get offended.